Hello and good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Bill Gray Legion Stadium at Champion Car Wash Field in beautiful Roseburg, Oregon, as today we get ready for some state playoff action. It's the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 6A State Championship Tournament, and it's the first round as the Roseburg Indians welcome in the Tigard Tigers. It's set to be a good one. First round action in the state playoffs is always a battle. Everybody's got a top arm that they feel good about when you get to this point in the season, and now we get to see which team has more than just a starting pitcher. The Roseburg Indians come in after winning the Southwest Conference with a league record of 12-6, 17 and I feel like I wrote something down wrong. Overall record for Roseburg, 17-8. I wrote 18 for some reason. 17-8 on the season for the Roseburg Indians. For the Tigard Tigers, 12-14 on the year after finishing in fifth place in the Three Rivers League. They were 6-9 in league play this year, the final team to get in out of the Three Rivers into the postseason. We are looking forward to this one getting underway, and we are so excited to have you here with us for today's broadcast. I'm Joey Keeran. This is the Roseburg Disposal pregame show. You can let them make the run to the dump for you. Give them a call at 673-7122. You can give them a call there and let them know that you'd like to have them make the run to the dump for you. Joining me in the booth today is Knight Jarecki. It's game 2 today, Knight. We started off with softball, and it was an exciting 4-0 win for the Roseburg softball team earlier today over at Roseburg High School.
It absolutely was. What a game for them. Got out to a great start, going up 2-0 early in the first inning, and then after that point, controlled the game. A really good defense throughout. They did have 2 errors throughout the afternoon, but they turned 3 double plays, and they had a game-saving play in center field by Mason Tabor. If you haven't seen the highlight yet, go onto our social media. We posted it there, at least on our Twitter, at KR, the score on Twitter. Mason Tabor made a diving play in center field with the bases loaded on a 3-0 game. If that ball drops down, then it probably is going to be a tie game in that situation. She makes the catch, and Cambria Bachmeyer throws a complete game shutout for the Indians, hoping that translates to baseball today and another successful afternoon for the Indians.
It is a fun day where we get baseball and softball home playoff matchups here on a beautiful Memorial Day in the Umpqua Basin. Do want to take a moment to say we are giving thanks to those that have served our country and paid the ultimate price. We appreciate and just absolutely cannot say anything more than thank you for the sacrifice you made, for the families of those loved ones that might have paid that ultimate price. Thank you for your sacrifice. So on this Memorial Day, we remember and think about those that served our country. We are getting ready for some high school baseball here. It's an interesting matchup, and it's got a lot of storylines, as every matchup in the postseason will, but we've got one in particular we're going to highlight here in the pregame show. Before we get to that, I do want to let you know that our expanded postseason coverage of Roseburg baseball presented specifically by our local sponsors, Roseburg Forest Products. Since 1936, Roseburg Forest Products has been a highly respected industry leader known for its commitment to its customers, its employees, and the environment. Roseburg Forest Products, making lives better from the ground up. And Winston Auto Care, don't strike out with car troubles. Winston Auto Care, give them a call at 679-8685. Your home team for auto repair for over 25 years. We also want to say thank you to our sponsors, Gibbs RV Superstore and Southern Septic Service, who have also stepped up their sponsorships here in the postseason as well. So you've got Roseburg, longtime head coach Troy Thompson, 23rd season. That young man has coached a lot of players through this Roseburg High School system. One of them is in the other dugout. And I don't know, right now it maybe doesn't feel like all that great of a setting, but you know what? It's probably got to be almost humbling and somewhat gratifying for Coach Troy Thompson to know that one of his former players, Boog Leach, now going by his official name of James, is the head coach. He's out there hitting innie-outie right now for the Tigard Tigers. He's the head coach in the other dugout, and I got a chance to catch up with him here on the Roseburg Disposal pregame show. We get the pleasure to talk with the opposing coach. Not often we do that, but he's a familiar face down here. Former Roseburg Indian Boog Leach back here. How's it feel to be back here at Legion Field, now Champion Car Wash Field, by the way? How's it feel back to be here in the old stomping grounds?
Yeah, it feels good. Brackets came out, Friday morning, and when I saw matched up against Roseburg, get to travel down here, It's full circle kind of feeling. This place is beautiful right now. It looks real different from last time I was here. But no, it'll be good. The boys are excited to come down here, and we're excited to be here.
I know you focus right now is on coaching a baseball game, but, just the fact that you're going against the guys that were coaching you when you were a player a little while ago, what's that kind of moment like for you as you were gearing up for this one?
Yeah, I mean, it's the full circle thing. It's those guys in the other dugout. I mean, Troy, Sester, O'Byrne, those are why I do what I do today, why I wanted to get in the classroom, why I wanted to coach baseball. They were instrumental in my life, and hopefully, getting back into the game as I have now coaching, that's something I can provide for one of these players that's out here rolling around with me.
Yeah. What'd you tell your guys before getting on that bus to come down here today about playing in this ballpark and playing in Roseburg?
Yeah, Roseburg always puts together a good team. They're coached very, very well. They do the little things very well. It doesn't matter what year it is. And anytime you have a team that does that, they're a tough opponent, and that's what we're rolling in here expecting to see today. Hopefully good crowd shows up. Roseburg's a community that's done that over the years, and so that's what we want, and that's what we hope to see today.
Finally, give us a little insight into your team. What's been going well for you guys this year that has gotten you to the spot where you're here in the first round of the state playoffs?
Yeah, older ball club. We got 12 seniors rolling around with us. It's the most we've had since I've been at Tigard. Senior starting on the mound, senior behind the dish catching. And so just rolling into the season, guys had a lot of familiarity with each other. It's a fun group. It's a good group of kids. And so with that kind of senior heavy lineup, it's just fun to show up to the yard with them every day. They want to win. They want to compete. And that's something you can't always have all the time. So It's good.
All right, man. Hey, we wish you the best of luck out there.
Thank
really
you.
Cool to get a chance to catch up and get to see you back here at the ballpark.
Likewise. Thank you.
That was Boog Leach, James Leach, the head coach of the Tigard Tigers. Been there for about 5 years now, leading the Tigers, and they are here in Roseburg for today's matchup. We're going to get in a quick break, and when we come back, we will have a word with head coach Troy Thompson as we preview today's matchup between Roseburg and Tigard here on 541radio.com and on the score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM. Hey there, sports fans. Thanks for watching this local sporting event online at 541radio.com. Did you know there's more than one way to watch games online? You can watch games on your laptop or desktop computer, your tablet, or even your smartphone just by going to 541radio.com. But we also use YouTube to stream all of our video broadcasts, which means you could be watching this game on your big screen TV with a number of different streaming devices. You can stream our live YouTube broadcast through your PlayStation or Xbox gaming device, or through streaming devices like Google Chromecast, Apple TV, or Roku. There's plenty of ways to follow this live local sporting event. Plus, you can find past events archived on 1490 The Score's YouTube channel. Find us on YouTube and subscribe today to keep up with the latest in local sports coverage.
My wife and I moved to Oregon to raise a family, set our roots, and to have a lot of fun outdoors. We quickly realized that we needed a truck or a rig for the projects that we were doing in our backyard. When we were looking to find a place to finance our truck, we asked our patients, and everyone recommended Cascade Community Credit Union. It was so easy to work with Cascade. Everything was done via email, phone, and we didn't even need to go in. I can't wait to finish up the projects in the backyard, go on more adventures in our truck with our boys, and I look forward to working with Cascade again in the future.
At Douglas County Farmers Co-op, we want your four-legged friends to be healthy and happy. That's why we stock a carefully curated selection of pet, equine, and livestock supplies. From the premium foods your pets crave to grooming and show supplies that help you shine in the show ring, you'll find it at Douglas County Farmers Co-op. Our knowledgeable staff are here to help with those tough pet and livestock care questions. Stop by or shop at DouglasCountyFarmersCoop.com.
Welcome back with more of our Roseburg Disposal pregame show here on the score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM, streaming with video online at 541radio.com. Postseason is here. The On Point Community Credit Union 6A State Championship playoffs get underway at Champion Car Wash Field as Roseburg welcomes in the Tigard Tigers. And joining us is Coach Troy Thompson. Coach, congratulations getting it to this point. I know every season this is one of the goals on the bulletin board, but it's not a given for anybody to get to this point. just looking back at that regular season for you guys, how do you feel like things went for you guys? How do you kind of evaluate what you saw from your team throughout a couple of months worth of the regular season?
Yeah, it felt like a long time ago at this point, but looking back on those things, another, like we talked early in the year before league play started, another highly competitive league season, and this year proved to be that maybe more than a lot of years as far as teams and records and abilities, and teams getting 2 of 3 or 1 of 3 or up and down the league play. So very competitive, very, very tough, very gritty type league this year that we managed to get our way through and end up at the top of it. So a real tribute to our guys and our players for getting that done. And it wasn't always easy and it wasn't always pretty or any of those things, but we found a way to win the games we had to win and win enough of them to place us where we placed and put us in this position here today.
You guys come away with a league title. Always fun to be able to celebrate that at the end of the regular season. What did you think about the competition? I know we always talk about it being tough, but at this point in the year, you start to face teams that you haven't seen, that have been in their league schedules and have seen the teams that they see on a regular basis. Do you feel like Southwest Conference once again prepares this team to hopefully go on a run in the postseason?
Well, it has in the past, and I believe that happened this year in league play. Like I said, a lot of one-run ball games, not just for us, but for about every team in the league, up and down the league schedule. So a lot of close games, a lot of extra inning games, a lot of walk-offs with the home team winning some of those games in a 2-1 or 4-3 or a one-run fashion. So really tight throughout the league, and you hope that pays off come playoff time. And with that comes our non-league schedule. You think back to way back in March, and you try to get on the field with some of those classic names and some good teams throughout the year and hope their season plays out well. And for us in our non-league scheduling this year, that has happened. And obviously you try to play the best teams you can and get on the field with them and see where you're at that point in time in the year. And you hope come this time of year, some of those lessons and some of those things can pay off for you. So, that's where we're at here today. Another, like I said, competitive league, and felt good about coming out with the league title. And that's always a fun thing and a neat thing to look back on. And no one can ever take that away from this group. So, and that's a good thing. But, here today, all that doesn't mean, a whole lot with our current system here in Oregon with the 1-game playoff and, win and everything's great. You get to move on, drop a 1-game playoff and, you're done. So a lot of finality to the Oregon High School baseball playoffs as it goes. So, yeah, we're excited and we're glad we've earned the right to play here at home today and be here and welcome in a very good team in Tigard here today.
You guys, you gave yourselves a little bit of time to be able to kind of try to turn the page from the regular season, a week off after the end of the regular season before the playoff brackets are revealed and the postseason begins. I think we've probably talked about this before, but, I'm sure each group is different with how that week might go. Did it feel like that was the right decision to have that much downtime before the postseason with this group?
It felt like it at the time. We were able to take a couple days off last week, and that was good for this group. And then we came back with 4 or 5 straight days of regular practice, and we're able to scrimmage and get our arms against our hitters and things like that in a game setting. So we did a lot of those types of baseball skills. So it was a good week for us and came through it healthy, which, as you know, at any time of the year is paramount, but certainly this time of year it really shows. So we're able to come through healthy with that and get them here today and feel good about, kind of where we're at in the week we had in between regular season and this here today. So, yeah, we felt good about it. A lot of teams play, and we've done it both ways in the past, and there's pros and cons to each one of those things. But that's what we did this year, and we feel good about where we're at, standing here today.
Yeah. As you guys get ready for it, it is Tigard on the other side, and a quality program out of that quality Three Rivers League, and a familiar name in the other side, a guy that came through this program, has played at this ballpark, and played for this coaching staff that's here he's facing today. Tell me a little bit about the matchup with Tigard and former Roseburg Indian Boog Leach over there.
That's right. Yeah, it's kind of a special matchup here today. We welcome Boog Leach back here to Legion Field. Boog was a 2012 graduate, I believe, played on some very good clubs, and that made some nice runs in the playoffs and had a lot of good experiences with those groups, and he was certainly a big part of that. And he's done a great job at Tigard. I think this is his 4th or 5th year there now, and we saw them 2 years ago up at Mountainside Tournament over spring break and got the chance to play them then. So it was good to see him then, and obviously good to see him here today. And it's Tigard Club, like you said, playing a very competitive league play, and have played well enough to put themselves here today. So, yeah, dangerous team at all times, and some very talented individuals in the other dugout over there. So, yeah, we're excited for the opportunity. At the same time, we understand that in this format, it doesn't matter what the number says by your name or anything like that, or what you're ranked or where you finished in league. None of that matters now. What matters is the 7 innings coming up here today, and hopefully we can do enough things well enough to give ourselves a chance to practice tomorrow.
That is Southwestern Oregon or Southwestern Conference Coach of the Year, Troy Thompson. Congratulations, by the way, on that. Joining us here in the Roseburg Disposal pregame show. Coach, really appreciate the time, and thanks so much.
Thanks, Joe. I appreciate you guys being here all year. Thank you.
Head coach Troy Thompson joining us here on the Roseburg Disposal pregame show. We're going to take a break for the national anthem. We come back. It's time for starting lineups and first pitch here from Champion Car Wash Field in beautiful Roseburg, Oregon. It's the first round of the state playoffs. Roseburg and Tigard here on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Turn your home into your dream sanctuary with help from Douglas County Farmers Co-op. For over 100 years, we've carried everything you need to keep your garden and crops green and growing, including a large selection of soil mixes, composts, fertilizers, and other soil amendments. You'll also find stones, boulders, gravel, and more to add structure and diversity to your yard. Stop by or shop at DouglasCountyFarmersCoop.com.
Quality Fences, doing it right for you. Just ask your neighbor. Quality Fences, doing it right for you.
How should I be investing my money?
Plan for your future with confidence. At Palm Wealth Management, we'll help you see a clear path to financial peace of mind. Call Palm Wealth Management today.
My wife and I moved to Oregon to raise a family, set our roots, and to have a lot of fun outdoors. We quickly realized that we needed a truck or a rig for the projects that we were doing in the backyard. When we were looking to find a place to finance our truck, we asked our patients, and everyone recommended Cascade Community Credit Union. It was so easy to work with Cascade. Everything was done via email, phone, and we didn't even need to go in. I can't wait to finish up the projects in the backyard, go on more adventures in our truck with our boys, and I look forward to working with Cascade again in the future.
Do I have enough money put away to retire?
Plan for your future with confidence. At Palm Wealth Management, we'll help you see a clear path to financial peace of mind. Call Palm Wealth Management today.
Calling all the action for us this afternoon, Mr. Bachmeyer, Mr. Carrington, and Mr. McGuire, your umpires for today.
69 degrees and mostly sunny in Roseburg today. A beautiful day to get the postseason underway. Just had a beautiful rendition of our national anthem from our public address announcer, Kenny Sherman, and now it's time to meet today's teams. Let's start off with the starting lineup for the visiting Tigard Tigers. Head coach James Leach, in what is his 5th season with the Tigers, leads off with Ollie Jones, the center fielder, followed by Alex Pearson, the pitcher. Batting third at third base is Grant Finsler. Connor Riley, the shortstop, batting cleanup, followed by Landon Duchesne, the DH. Batting for starting first baseman Ryan Fry. At right field is Miles Ott. He'll bat 6th, followed by the left fielder Connor Bach, who's batting 7th. Hitting 8th and catching Dominic Taylor, and rounding out the starting 9 will be Carter Jordan, the second baseman. Let's take a look at the defense for the Roseburg Indians. Behind the plate is Amos Bowers. Catching out at first base is Danner Wirtz. At second base is Caden Austin. On the left side of the diamond, Cal Robbins at third and Paxton Burke at short. In the outfield from left to right, it's A.J. Black, Dane St. Clair, and Fletcher Coleman. They will look to support today's starting pitcher. He was recently voted the Southwest Conference Player of the Year. The right-hander, senior Jake Johnson making his 11th start on the season. He's 8-1 overall this year, 62 innings worked, a 2.57 ERA, 76 strikeouts to just 19 walks, as Jake Johnson will toe the rubber. Knight Jarecki joining me here in the booth. Knight, you've been seeing a lot of baseball for the Roseburg Indians this year, and Jake Johnson has been the real deal for the Tribe.
He really has been the real deal this season for Roseburg. It feels like every start that he gets out there, he wins, and that's because he's won 8 of his 10 starts this season. He also has a save as well. So 11 appearances with that save, the 8 wins. He is a guy that just continues to toe the mound and just continues to command the zone. Whether it be the breaking ball, whether it be his fastball, he's just able to locate it exceptionally well and plow through hitters. His last 3 performances, 10-plus strikeouts in each of them, including 2 performances of 12 strikeouts, one in the last game on Senior Day and one down at North Medford in a crucial game that actually gave the Indians the lead in the Southwest Conference and a large reason why Roseburg won the Southwest Conference this season.
Our crew today, Jason McGuire, Dan Bachmeyer, and I did not get a first name, Garrison, out there as well. We'll try to confirm there. That is our umpire crew out there today. Getting ready to go. It's McGuire behind the plate calling balls and strikes for us as we get ready for first pitch. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in and joining us for today's broadcast of Roseburg baseball in the postseason here on The Score. First pitch from Johnson is in for strike 1 as we get underway at 4:33. Champion Car Wash Field, for those unfamiliar, artificial turf everywhere on the playing surface. It's a breaking ball from Johnson high and inside. The dirt on the infield is not actually dirt anymore. It's artificial turf. Mound, the plate, it's all fake. And the outfield is all artificial as well. As the ball popped up, out of play. That'll be strike 2, a 1-2 count for Ollie Jones, the right-handed hitting center fielder. It is 320 down the lines and 385 to dead center field in what is a very large ballpark for most hitters. Ground ball, chopper towards third, a 1-hop high to Cal Robbins, across the diamond to Danner Wirtz, and we're underway. A 5-3 putout, 1 out to begin things here in the top of the first for the Tigers.
And that's a lot of what we've seen from Johnson throughout this season. I did mention the strikeouts, but when the ball's put in play, it's a lot of soft contact, a lot of ground outs, and it's just him getting into a comfortable state as the game moves on.
He seems to kind of settle in real nicely as the game continues. Fires his first pitch to the first lefty we see for the Tigers. It's starting pitcher Alex Pearson, who takes a breaking ball to the left-handed hitter, that one cutting back to the outside corner of the plate. Wind and fire for Jake. The senior gets a fly ball to center field. Well struck, going back towards the fence at the wall. It's out of the reach of Dane St. Clair. And wow, do not see many balls hit to that part of the park like that. That ball carried Alex Pearson. You know, Knight, in a lot of other ballparks, that one might have left the yard. But here at Champion Car Wash Field, that ball stays in. It hit about halfway up the center field fence. The batter's eye out there, standing at about 25 feet tall out there, and that ball halfway up the fence for a stand-up double for Alex Pearson.
You're certainly right. You don't see many balls hit out that way, and I think Dane St. Clair out in center field, he was a little unfamiliar with that territory. It looked like he kind of went towards the wall a little awkwardly. He honestly hasn't fielded too many balls out that direction this season.
Swing and a miss on the first pitch to Grant Finsler, the third baseman, with a man in scoring position. We do get a courtesy runner for the pitcher. Running out at second base is Gavin Easterday. Ball fouled off, an 0-2 count. Well-struck ball. And that low line drive, that ball had some great carry on to it. We do have a little bit of a breeze. Usually the wind will blow things left to right across the diamond here at Champion Car Wash Field. Caden Austin will hold the runner on at second as a breaking ball misses outside for Johnson on the 0-2 delivery to Finsler. Top of the first inning and a runner in scoring position. 1 out. Johnson. Fastball challenged him, and that ball hit back into the netting. was talking with assistant coach Tim Sestair prior to this one getting underway, and I feel like baseball in the playoffs is unlike most other sports in high school in the state of Oregon. Everybody seems to have a top end of the rotation. You know, everybody has a guy they feel real solid about at the top of their pitching rotation. As a 1-2 pitch. Strike 3 called outside corner. Down looking is Fensler. And for the Indians, that's a big strikeout for Jake Johnson, his first in the ball game. And it eases the tensions with a runner in scoring position. But most teams have a guy at the top of their order they feel really good about. And when it comes down to you got to win or you're done, if their guy's just a little bit better than your guy that day, it could be a quick trip to the postseason, even for teams that are the higher seeds in the rankings in this postseason. First pitch in for a strike to Connor Riley, the shortstop. So it'll be interesting to see how this matchup goes despite the seedings next to their names. This I'm expecting to be a pretty competitive battle between Tigard and Roseburg. Inside, 1-1 as O'Reilly scoots his way up onto his tiptoes to get out of the way of an inside pitch. Austin continues to hold the runner on at second. That ball laced foul down the first base side, just past the visiting dugout on the first base side for the Tigers, wearing their black tops, white trousers today. They occupy the dugout on the first base side, in-ground dugout, but with a fence line up in front of it, they've got space for everybody to be up at field level. Ground ball right side's going to get through into right field. Fletcher Coleman will come up. They're going to hold the runner at third as Coleman sends it in to Wirtz. A 2-out single to right field by the cleanup hitter, Connor Riley. Runners on the corners, and a nice job by Fletcher to get to that ball and get it back in quickly, making it an easy decision to throw up the stop sign for the courtesy runner, Gavin Easterday, at third.
Coleman has a cannon out in right field. It was a smart decision. It was a bullet that he threw right to Danner Wirtz at first base, and I think that if you have that replacement runner come in from third, he's probably out at the plate.
So fresh count to the 5-hitter, Landon Duchesne, who takes a breaking ball for a strike. This Tigard team, 12-14 on the year. Out of the Three Rivers League, their seeding was 25 into the postseason. Fastball is a bit high for Johnson.
Very senior-heavy team as well.
Yeah, we were hearing about that. There's a lot of them. 1-1 count. Breaking ball popped him up, right side. Got to fight the sun out that direction. Both Austin and Fletcher kind of looking at each other. That was a close one there. I wasn't sure if either of them knew exactly who was going to try to get to that baseball, but it is the second baseman, Caden Austin, that snatches it out of the air for the final out here in the first. So able to pitch around a couple of base hits here in the first inning. Jake Johnson keeps it scoreless. No runs on 2 hits. There were no errors, and 2 runners left on base. We're through a half inning. We come back with the bottom of the first here on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
This is Roseburg. This is not your average career path, or yet another 9-to-5 desk job. And this is certainly not last century's mill job. This is the future. A modern manufacturing facility producing the most renewable building products on the planet and using technology to do so. At Roseburg, you will work among humans and robots in beautiful Oregon, the timber capital of the U.S. We're growing the trees and manufacturing the materials that will keep our homes and offices standing for decades into the future. We're looking for new team members, people who want to be our future managers, supervisors, and leaders. Visit roseburg.com/careers to start growing your career today.
Headed to the bottom of the first, Roseburg coming up to bat here from Champion Car Wash Field in a scoreless ball game. Let's take a look at today's starting lineup for the Roseburg Indians, led by head coach Troy Thompson in his 23rd year. Paxton Burke, the switch-hitting shortstop, will lead things off, followed by Dane St. Clair in center field. Third baseman Cal Robbins batting third in the lineup, followed by Jake Johnson, the pitcher, batting cleanup. DH is Luke Robbins, batting 5th for right fielder Fletcher Coleman. The first baseman, Danner Wirtz, bats 6th, followed by 7-hitter A.J. Black, the left fielder. Amos Bowers, the catcher, will bat 8th, and in at second base. And rounding out the starting 9, it's Caden Austin. That's a look at your starting lineup for the Roseburg Indians. Defensively for the Tigers, Dominic Taylor back behind the plate. Ryan Fry is the first baseman. Carter Jordan at second base. On the left side of the diamond, Grant Finsler at third. Connor Riley at short. In the outfield from left to right, Connor Bach, Ollie Jones, and Miles Ott. They will back up starting pitcher Alex Pearson, the lefty. He is a big kid out there. He's well over 6 feet. We saw him smoke a ball to center field, so we know he's a strong kid. He's a left-hander, not something Roseburg's faced a lot of, and he'll face Paxton Burke, who bats right-handed, something that he hasn't done a whole lot of this season. A switch hitter. He usually bats left-handed because we usually see right-handers, and he takes the first pitch inside corner for strike one as we're underway here in the bottom of the first. The 0-1 pitch misses a bit high. A 1-1 count for Burke. Paxton Burke comes in. He's been in the leadoff spot all season. On-base percentage of .490. Currently batting .375. Takes low and inside. 2-1 count.
I always have to remind myself that he is a switch hitter every time that he goes out there as a righty. I mean, he just hits as a lefty so much because you don't face a ton of left-handers at the high school rinks.
2-1 pitch is high from Pearson, and the count goes to 3-1. We've got numbers on Roseburg. We don't have numbers on Tigard, so I don't know exactly what kind of season it has been for Alex Pearson, but the fact that he gets the ball to start the postseason makes me think it's been a pretty good year for him, despite the fact I say all of that as he airmails one to the backstop for ball 4. Paxton Burke, he has been an on-base machine. As mentioned, a .490 on-base percentage. He draws the walk. That is his 19th of the year. He leads Roseburg in that category. And it'll put Dane St. Clair up to bat with a man at first. We'll see what they do here. Roseburg known to play the small ball. And that'll bring in third baseman Grant Finsler just a bit towards the edge of the grass. Lefty-lefty matchup is the straight-up left-hander. Dane St. Clair takes low and outside. Dane, not a switch hitter. He is a lefty. You see him throw left, bat left. He's been working on that swing. Had a really great summer as Burke takes off running. The pitch in and out of the glove behind the plate for Taylor, and Roseburg being aggressive early on. Even with a lefty on the mound. Not something you see a lot of with a lefty on the mound to be that aggressive early on until you've maybe gotten a look at his motion towards first a little bit.
Yeah, but, with Burke, his leadership, his experience, you kind of have faith in him.
The 2-0 pitch does catch the outside corner for a strike to Dane St. Clair. For Paxton Burke, that's his 7th stolen base of the year. Dane St. Clair coming in batting .280 on the season. He squares to bunt. He'll take low for a 3-1 count. And one way to get it to a guy early in a ball game, make him throw a lot of pitches. A walk to Burke led it off, and now Dane St. Clair, a 3-1 count. And that ball hit him on the elbow. No padding on the elbow for Dane, but he tosses away the bat. Seems to be perfectly fine on a ball that grazed his front elbow, and now Roseburg with runners at first and second, and Alex Pearson facing a little bit of trouble early on.
And the other thing, too, is you mentioned making a guy throw a lot. In the playoffs, pitch count matters because if you're looking to go for a long run, you got to preserve your pitchers.
You want to have your top guys available coming up in the next couple of rounds. They're not going to be available Wednesday, but you've got that chance to try and maybe again play on Friday if you advance that through Wednesday's second round. And, yeah, pitch counts can be huge. Bounce in. Cal Robbins will take for a 1-0 count. Also, pitch counts, if a guy's here early on in the game, we're already getting a visit out to the mound as Tigard's coach, Boog Leach, will head out there to talk with his entire infield. Say this inning gets long, he throws a lot of pitches, but then starts to find his groove. But because if he throws a lot of pitches here, they may have to, even if he's throwing well and looking good out there later on, they may have to lift him because you do get to that limit. So, yeah, being efficient with your pitches is definitely big.
Well, it's tempting to as well. And the other thing is that, no game is certain, right? So you can't take it for granted. So it's kind of two sides of the coin.
Today's game brought to you by our sponsors, Barnes Heating and Cooling, your complete energy company. Visit barnesheatingandcooling.com or call them at 541-459-1545. And by Dr. Alanson Randall Family and Cosmetic Dentistry. Visit drrandall.com or call them at 541-378-6694. They will break up the conference on the mound. First visit. And now Cal Robbins, a 1-0 count. You aggressive on the first pitch after a mound visit like that against a guy who's been a little erratic to start? Well, the answer is Cal watches one go by for a strike.
It's a little surprising because Cal is typically a very aggressive hitter. I've seen him swing on multiple 3-0 counts throughout the season. But at the end of the day, you already have a hit by pitch and a walk that you've seen so far. Let him find the zone first.
Cal pokes one right side, but it's going to drift into foul territory and out of the stadium. Cal Robbins, just a sophomore this year. First-team all-conference selection. That's his second first-team all-conference selection. Different conferences. Was a first-team all-leaguer at Douglas High School last year. Transferred to Roseburg, first-team all-leaguer in the Southwest Conference. Hit .410 in the regular season. He'll call time. Hit .410, and he might be the home run leader for a single season in my recent memory. 4 home runs this year. I don't see a whole lot of them. Swing and a miss, though, and Pearson able to get the dangerous hitter, Cal Robbins, for strike 3. Chasing at a pitch outside, 1 away.
It's a big bounce back at bat for Pearson on the bump. Able to fire in a strikeout after getting in some trouble.
That'll bring up Jake Johnson, starting pitcher. As mentioned earlier, he is the Conference Player of the Year. As they look back to second base, diving in goes Burke. No one was covering the bag. Jake Johnson, congratulations, earning the Southwest Conference Player of the Year award this season. Heck of an honor. Swings through the first pitch for strike 1. Jake has had a heck of a season. He comes in batting .400 on the nose. He's got 17 RBI, second most on the team, and he's looking to try and pick up another one here, see if he can give himself an early lead. Pitch bounces in, gets away, long run for the catcher, Taylor. Burke, speedy, takes a turn, gives it a look, but will hustle back to third base. And now you've got runners at second and third for Roseburg on the wild pitch.
I think the impressive part about Johnson and his season is that he's good enough on the mound that he probably could have won Pitcher of the Year in the Southwest Conference, but because of his offensive statistics, he won the Player of the Year. He's just been dominant on both the mound and at the plate.
In all 3 phases, really. He's played defense fairly well out at third base and at first base as well. He's done it in all 3 phases this year for Roseburg, earning that award. He said he thought maybe Cal Robbins would be the Player of the Year because of his offense and that he might be Pitcher of the Year, but he was just excited to get Player of the Year, and I don't know if he's excited more for himself or the season his team is having or the fact that now he has bragging rights over his brothers Caden and Cody. So 2-1 pitch to Johnson. Jake will foul one third base side.
I was going to say he also has bragging rights over Cal now because, at the same time, Cal maybe was hoping that he was going to be named the Player of the Year in the conference, and now he has that bragging rights over him as well.
And Jake also said he's got bragging rights because his team won a league title as Roseburg wins the championship in the Southwest Conference this year for the first time since 2019. A pitch in the dirt. Count goes full. Another deep count here for Alex Pearson. 1 away. Runners at second and third. Scoreless ball game. Bottom of the first here. And Roseburg threatening with runners at second and third. 3-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. In the dirt. The throw down to first in time and able to keep the runner held at third. Ryan Fry comes off the bag, so Jake Johnson goes down with a strikeout. Back-to-back Ks for Pearson, who does seem to be settling in a bit here.
Seems like that mound visit certainly paid off. After the walk and hit by a pitch, back-to-back strikeouts like you said, and that's one way to kind of get back into the game after running into a little bit of trouble. It's about how you respond early on.
The designated hitter, Luke Robbins, a senior for the Roseburg Indians, the older brother of Cal Robbins, will step in. Luke having a great senior season for Roseburg, batting .314, 15 RBI, 4 doubles on the year, looking to try and see if he can bring in a run here and put Roseburg in front early. He takes low and inside for a 1-0 count. Swings through a breaking ball for strike one. Luke, along with Cal, transferring over from Douglas High School for this year, started his freshman season with Roseburg, and then they transferred to Douglas, spent a couple of years there. He takes one at the knees for a strike, and Alex Pearson is one pitch away from getting through a first inning. Both pitchers facing a little bit of trouble in the first, but able to pitch through it. Alex Pearson trying to follow what Jake Johnson did in the top half of this first inning. The 1-2 from Pearson. Ooh, buzzes the tower. Ducking out of the way goes Luke Robbins.
Great season for Luke. First team all-league player as a DH. He's just consistently found himself at that 5 spot and has had big RBIs throughout the season. It's been great to see him back in the orange and black.
2-2 pitch, swing and a miss. He'll get tagged, and that is a strikeout to finish it off. 3 straight strikeouts for Alex Pearson, and after a little bit of inconsistency, the Tigard Tigers, they are able to keep Roseburg off the board. You got no runs on no hits. There were no errors, and you had 2 runners left on base. We go to the top of the second. It's a scoreless ball game here from Champion Car Wash Field on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Communications radio stations have joined forces with the News Review and Lotus Web Services, announcing the Lotus Media Group, a multimedia enterprise. Web, broadcast, print. Make it happen with LotusMediaGroupLLC.com.
How should I be investing my money?
Plan for your future with confidence. At Palm Wealth Management, we'll help you see a clear path to financial peace of mind. Call Palm Wealth Management today.
In today's big box store, how-to YouTube video world, it is hard to do it yourself. If you're fixing your fence or putting in a new one, the only place to start is Quality Fence. We stock almost anything you need and take the time to show you how to really do it yourself. Visit the Quality Fence showroom in Roseburg and get great fencing ideas at QualityFenceCo.com.
Quality Fences, doing it right for you.
As the title sponsor of the OSAA State Championships, On Point does everything it can to help our team and community get ahead. On Point delivers the local banking and lending its members need to reach their goals and make more possible. Visit On Point at onpointcu.com. On Point is federally insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Opportunity. Scoreless ball game here after 1 inning of play. We go to the top of the second. It'll be Ott, Bach, and Taylor due up for the Tigard Tigers. Both pitchers getting a chance to establish themselves out there, and well, now the hitters have seen a little bit about each other. We'll see how things continue on through. Miles Ott, right-handed batter, takes on the outside corner from Jake Johnson for strike one. Well, the Three Rivers League did pretty well. West Lynn winning that league, finished ranked number 2 in the power rankings as a swing and a miss at a breaking ball. 0-2 count for Ott. West Lynn winning with a 13-2 league record. Lake Oswego and Tualatin tied for second at 8-7. Lake Ridge at 7-8, and then Tigard at 6-9. Those teams all making the playoffs as an 0-2 pitch down the middle freezes the hitter. Miles Ott watches it for strike 3. A strikeout to start things off for Jake Johnson, his second in the ballgame. Impressive to see. You've got 5 teams out of the conference make it in. Southwest Conference with 6, though, by the way. First pitch swinging away for Connor Bach as he will start off with the 0-1 count.
Go for it.
I was going to say Roseburg, Sheldon, West Willamette, North Medford, South Medford, and Grants Pass all making the playoffs out of the Southwest Conference. 0-1 pitch. Breaking ball drops at the top of the zone for a strike.
You mentioned Westland, a team that is right now number 2 heading into the postseason, into this bracket. That's a team that Tigard actually beat a couple of weekends ago, won game number 1 of a doubleheader.
Ground ball, first base side. It's picked up by Wirtz, who will make his way to the bag. He'll call off Jake Johnson and take it himself. I'm sure a pitcher's always excited to see the first baseman say, hey, no worries, I got this myself. And Danner Wirtz will make the put out at first. Connor Bach goes down, 2 away. Dominic Taylor, the catcher, will stand in. The bracket has Roseburg on the same side as the number 1 overall seed, South Salem, a team that beat Roseburg 5-0 here in Roseburg early in the season. Outside to the left-handed hitting Dominic Taylor. Starts off with a 1-0 count. So if the seeding worked out the way, if the games worked out via the seeding, it's a ball jam shot, popped up towards left field. It's going to be A.J. Black, called off by Dane St. Clair, who will make the catch. Ranging a long way, the center fielder gets underneath it, a 1-2-3 inning for Jake Johnson. If the seeding works out the way that you would expect, Roseburg could face South Salem in the quarterfinals, a rematch of that game that was 5-0 early on in the year. But we got a long way to go to that. We are through 1.5. It's still scoreless after a 1-2-3 inning for Tigard. Roseburg coming up to bat with Danner Wirtz, A.J. Black, and Amos Bowers after this 1-minute timeout here on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Turn your home into your dream sanctuary with help from Douglas County Farmers Co-op. For over 100 years, we've carried everything you need to keep your garden and crops green and growing, including a large selection of soil mixes, composts, fertilizers, and other soil amendments. You'll also find stones, boulders, gravel, and more to add structure and diversity to your yard. Stop by or shop at DouglasCountyFarmersCoop.com.
Successful companies have a very important secret. Good advertising works and makes them money. That's why your business should contact Lotus Media Group. Let us help you cash in with multimedia advertising. Multiple touches from Douglas County's only Google certified partner and most effective advertising platform. Web, broadcast, print. Make it happen. LotusMediaGroupLLC.com.
From residential to commercial, Southern Septic Service has your behind covered. When it comes to septic tank plumbing and inspections, portable toilet rentals, and grease trap cleaning, Southern Septic Service is women and veteran owned and a proud supporter of our local sports teams.
That's Nate Jarecki. He'll have play-by-play coming up for you starting next inning. I'm Joey Keeran. Danner Wirtz leads things off. The big freshman swings through and misses for strike 1 to get things underway here against Alex Pearson. Pitches low, 1-1 count. Wirtz, his first year in high school, earning second-team All-Southwest Conference honors. What a season he had. You love to see that. Knew that he was coming up. He's a name that I've had on my radar for a little bit as he fouls off the pitch. He's got a frame that does not look like a 14-year-old. He is a big kid, and he's been a guy that has been making his way in baseball for a little bit. Seen some highlights of him, and happy to see that his freshman season has worked out well. He takes high, has a 2-2 count here against Alex Pearson, who struck out the side in the first after issuing a walk and a hit batter in the first 2 plate appearances for Roseburg. Scoreless ball game in the bottom of the second. A pitch bounces in, and the count goes full. They were announcing pitch counts, and I didn't hear what it was for Pearson after the first, but it seemed like he threw quite a few, and he is already into a full count here to start the second. Full count delivery for him against Wirtz, and he misses high for ball 4. That'll be the second walk, and the second time that he leads off the inning with a free pass. 1 on, nobody out. Deer style, efficiency, and performance. Glad we're on the same team this season and every season. Let's keep huddling up and going for it. Toyota, let's go places. Get a chance at a legal ID here in just a moment. Up to bat for Roseburg, A.J. Black, the left fielder. Pickoff throw to first, not nearly in time. Danner Wirtz no stolen bases this year.
No.
Not necessarily. I mean, he doesn't have necessarily the frame that you would think stealing bases out there. Not to say that he's slow, but he's not necessarily the guy that you're going to think is going to be ready to go on the first pitch. But Pearson was giving him some attention. Now he fires his first pitch to A.J. Black and misses for a 1-0 count.
It's funny how often, though, teams will throw back to first with him on the base there.
2-0 count as a pitch misses high and away to Black.
And Roseburg's not necessarily a team that steals a ton of bases. They have 32 on the season, but like a guy like Caden Austin, for example, he has 4 stolen bases. I think 3 of them came in the final week of the season. That's a guy that you probably expect to steal more bags throughout the year.
2-0 pitch, high and away to A.J. Black, and right now the bottom of the lineup getting the same treatment as the top of the lineup did. Paxton Burke walked to start out the ball game in the leadoff spot, followed by Dane St. Clair, who would have walked, but he got hit on the elbow by what would have been ball 4. So right now, Alex Pearson following a similar trajectory as he did in the first inning with the first 2 batters he sees. He does get a strike across on a 3-0 pitch. 3-1 delivery coming up for A.J. Black. A.J. Black takes ball 4. Back-to-back walks. And 3 total issued in this game now for Alex Pearson. A.J. Black had come in batting .214. He does draw the walk. That's the 10th one on the season for him.
A lot of balls thrown from Pearson. And even last inning, I mean, it didn't necessarily start out the prettiest to Cal Robbins. They had the mound meeting, and then he settled in 3 straight strikeouts, and it seems like he's kind of lost the rhythm coming back here for inning number 2.
Yeah, he really ramped it up against the heart of the order. The 3, 4, 5 hitters all striking out to end things in the first, but now he has gone back and is issued back-to-back free passes. Had a brief mound visit. And we'll have a look back to second. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is Roseburg Baseball on The Score. One pitch while we were gone, and wouldn't you know, outside the strike zone. A 1-0 count to start for the catcher, Amos Bowers, who has gotten some at-bats, not a lot, as he'll take a strike on the outside corner. Amos has been a staple back behind the plate, but he's below the Mendoza line, batting .118 on the year. In the 8th spot, he hits with runners at first and second, and nobody out. And that's what I was expecting. He squares to bunt. He'll put it down third base side. That's a beauty of a bunt. Charging in, the third baseman collides with the pitcher as he throws. And at first base, they'll say that Ryan Fry came off the bag, and on safely is Bowers. Finsler came charging in, fielded, had time to throw, but diving underneath him was Pearson, looking to stay out of the way, and he almost took out his own guy. The throw to first apparently pulling Fry off the bag, and out of the dugout comes Coach Leach to have a quick conversation, and I think he's going to ask maybe to see if they can get some help from the home plate umpire on the angle of whether or not Fry kept his foot on the bag at first. Whether the out or the safe call at first stands, Roseburg's going to have at least 2 guys in scoring position. They might have the bases loaded.
Yeah, and the umpires are going to meet right here. Great news is that you got the 3 umpire crew, which is always a great thing. Sometimes you get into situations where there's only 2 umpires out there, and so with the 3rd umpire, you get an extra set of eyes.
The ruling is going to stand safe at first. That'll be the first error of the ball game. A sack bunt attempt by Amos Bowers, and he gets on safely as the first baseman comes off the bag. Bowers does stay in the game. Courtesy runners can be used for the catcher. He's not going to get one. Bases are loaded with nobody out, and the 9-hitter Caden Austin, the senior, will take low and inside. I've tuned in for a lot of your games night. You make sure to mention that Caden Austin heading to go play football at the college level. What's the school name again?
Valley City State College.
Yeah, there's too many names in there, as Austin will take high and away, a 2-0 count. He's not the only one, though. I was thinking about it. I don't know. There's going to be some other seniors that probably move on to play baseball at the next level. Jake Johnson, one of them. I assume that Dane St. Clair will be as well. But Luke Robbins planning to play football in college. Now Caden Austin as well, as he takes a strike. 2-0 count, goes to 2-1. So on this roster, that's a very good baseball team. You got a couple of guys that plan on going to the next level to continue with playing football.
Yeah.
Pretty cool to see.
Luke going to go out there at College of the Siskiyous in Northern California and go the JUCO route for community college football in California. They don't offer that in the state of Oregon. The NWAC does not have college football, but he's going to go down there to College of Siskiyous, going to go play linebacker. Caden Austin, though, a speedy wide receiver. We saw it throughout the season. And, again, the 4 stolen bases this year, a little bit surprising if you watched any Roseburg football game in the fall.
Yeah, he was a speedster. Fouled off the last pitch. He's got a 2-2 count after a brief break in the action. The 2-2 pitch, chasing upstairs for strike 3. 4th strikeout in the game for Alex Pearson. He's got 3 walks issued. That has been the bugaboo right now. But he gets an important strikeout, and he's 1 pitch away from maybe seeing this half inning come to an end. Roseburg, for a second consecutive inning, has gotten runners into scoring position with less than 2 outs. Trying to do something about it is Paxton Burke, up for a second time in the ball game. Burke will take high and inside for ball 1. Should be noted there is some activity going on in the bullpen for Tigard already. You've got Cam McCormick getting loose with some stretching bands. The 1-0 pitch from Pearson is high for a 2-0 count.
Pearson, another strikeout to that last batter with runners in scoring position. Had the 3 lasting with runners in scoring position, but now down 2-0.
He will fire in a strike on the 2-0 pitch to Burke.
And maybe, some pitchers just like that extra motivation to have some traffic on the base paths. I know Jake Johnson, he's talked about it when he allows runners. He just has this mindset that he doesn't want to allow any other runners to get on.
Ball lifted towards right center field. Might be enough to drive in a run on a sac fly. It is caught by Jones. He will send it home. That throw in time. Danner Wirtz doubled off at home on a looping throw to the plate. He could not beat it out, and that will bring the inning to an end. Defensive play. Ollie Jones gets it to Dominic Taylor in time for the final out of the second inning. Paxton Burke tried to lift one to center field for a sac fly, and unfortunately it wasn't deep enough. No runs, no hits. There was 1 error and 2 runners left on base for Roseburg. We will go to the 3rd inning. Knight Jarecki will take over a couple of innings of play-by-play as we continue on here from Champion Car Wash Field. First round of the state playoffs on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
I'm confused by the huge market swings.
Get a better understanding of your finances. At Palm Wealth Management, we care about your priorities and help restore financial security. Call Palm Wealth Management today.
Do I have enough money put away to retire?
Plan for your future with confidence. At Palm Wealth Management, we'll help you see a clear path to financial peace of mind. Call Palm Wealth Management today.
Quality Fences, doing it right for you. Just ask your neighbor.
They reflect a style as unique as you are. They make first impressions. They provide space, add lasting beauty, and security. Quality is a reflection of who you are. That's why all your fencing projects begin here.
Quality Fences, doing it right for you.
0-0 the score in the top of the 3rd inning. Special thanks to our sponsor, Flyaway Travel. Contact the travel experts at Travel Leader, Flyaway Travel, and make sure you have an agent in your corner. You can call 541-672-5701. What a play out in center field by Oliver Jones. A heck of a throw from center field to the plate to save a run.
Yeah, I think we were talking about Danner Wirtz, not much of a stolen base threat, and I don't want to hound on him. He's not slow. He's just not the fastest guy on the team, and that throw just had to be perfect, and it was. Ollie Jones, it was a high looper. It was a bit of a rainbow throw, but it got right to where it needed to be right on time.
Here's Carter Jordan leading things off. First pitch swinging as he flies it out towards center field. Dean St. Clair, the center fielder, backs up a few steps, squeezes the mitt, and makes the catch for out number 1. Well, that's one time through the order for Jake Johnson. He allowed 2 hits with 2 strikeouts, and he starts this third inning with an out to center field.
He had 26 pitches through his first 2 innings, according to the official pitch count.
Up to 27, and that's important to note because, again, if you want to make a long run, anticipating that you're going to get to the semifinals, hopefully you'd like to have Jake Johnson on Friday, which would potentially be a date with number 1, South Salem. Pitch up and inside, 1 ball and no strikes to Mr. Oliver Jones. Ollie, the guy that had that heck of a throw to end the bottom of the second inning. Down and away from Johnson, 2 balls and no strikes to Jones, who's 0 for 1 with a ground out to third. Now Johnson back on the rubber.
Next round, you've got either Forest Grove or Grant for whoever wins this matchup.
Johnson comes in the strike zone. Fastball, 2-1.
A lot of games getting underway here at about the same time as us.
2-1 pitch from Johnson is in the zone.
Nice
2-2.
pitch there by Jake. Sheldon might be the lone team out of the Southwest Conference that is already wrapped up here. They started at 2 as they were hosting my Barlow Bruins.
2 balls and 2 strikes. Here's the pitch from Johnson. It's fouled back. Do it again.
So we'll
I believe Sheldon and Barlow, the 16-17 matchup.
Well, I got the bracket here, so let me double check on that and find out for you. Yeah, that is correct.
Swing and a miss on the 2-2 pitch. Actually, they're going to say foul ball. Almost stayed in the mitt of Bowers. We'll have to wait and see if Johnson can get his 3rd strikeout here. Again, 12 strikeouts in his last game. It was the last game of the regular season to win league against Grants Pass. Hit up the middle for a base hit for Jones. Good play by Paxton Burke ranging out into the outfield defensively, but still a single for Jones as the Tigers pick up their 3rd hit of the afternoon.
You know, it feels kind of weird to say it. I mean, it feels like Roseburg's kind of been right there on the verge. They've really been pushing Tigard in this matchup, threatening to open up a lead in this game. But at the moment, Roseburg without a hit. Meanwhile, Tigard with already 3.
A lot of that has been the walks. They haven't had to necessarily swing the bat to get runners on base. First pitch now to Alex Pearson is in for a strike. 0-1 to Pearson, who ripped a double off the center field wall. One of the hardest hit balls and one of the farthest hit balls we've seen at this ballpark all season long. Johnson out of the stretch, no balls and a strike. Throws back towards first base, and back there safely is Jones.
Nice move there to get over that direction. He made that pretty close play there at first.
No balls and a strike to the lefty and Pearson. He fouls away it. 0-2.
Do have a final on that Sheldon and Barlow game. Sheldon wins 3-2 over Barlow, knocking out my Bruins, my alma mater. But the Southwest Conference will have their first win in the first round with hopefully some more to come. Another pickoff throw to first. This time no tag for Wirtz.
Sheldon, their pitcher, Cam Thomas, he was named the pitcher of the year in the Southwest Conference. Just a sophomore, too.
Had a pretty good matchup there, just a one-run ball game.
No balls and 2 strikes. Johnson kicks and deals. It's grounded over towards second base. Austin Fields flips to 2, gets the out there. No play at first base for Burke. So a nice play by Austin to field it deep in the second base hole, go and get the lead runner, and Jones out at second, and now Pearson at first base with 2 outs in the 0-0 game in the top of the 3rd.
You know, that you might have undersold that play there by Caden Austin. He was ranging to his glove side, moving to his left, took him towards the first base line, and he fielded, and I almost wonder, he kind of hesitated whether or not he had time to get that ball to second. What helped him is that ground ball was right in front of Ollie Jones, and he had to hold up to make sure the ball didn't hit him, and that delayed him getting to second and allowed Austin to get the lead runner.
Swing and a miss on the first pitch. Throw down to second base in time. Bowers throws out the replacement runner. Didn't catch who it was as Pearson came out. Either way, it was a nice play by Amos Bowers to throw out Gavin Easterday, who was the replacement runner into the game for Pearson. And Bowers, once again, a bullet from the right arm to end the inning. So a unique 1-2-3 inning for the Tigers. As we'll head to the bottom of the third inning, the score is still scoreless here at Champion Car Wash Field. You're listening to Roseburg Baseball here on 541radio.com and the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Turn your home into your dream sanctuary with help from Douglas County Farmers Co-op. For over 100 years, we've carried everything you need to keep your garden and crops green and growing, including a large selection of soil mixes, composts, fertilizers, and other soil amendments. You'll also find stones, boulders, gravel, and more to add structure and diversity to your yard. Stop by or shop at DouglasCountyFarmersCoop.com.
Successful companies have a very important secret. Good advertising works and makes them money. That's why your business should contact Lotus Media Group. Let us help you cash in with multimedia advertising. Multiple touches from Douglas County's only Google certified partner and most effective advertising platform. Web, broadcast, print. Make it happen. LotusMediaGroupLLC.com.
Bottom of the third inning. Special thanks to our sponsor, Barnes Heating and Cooling, your complete energy company. Visit barnesheatingandcooling.com or call 541-459-1545. Well, still scoreless through 2.5. Indians coming back up to the plate. Still looking for their first hit today.
I want to say thanks to our sponsor, Chuck Swarman Family Auto Repair. Are you ready to go where life takes you? Yeah, it has been a pitcher's duel so far.
Pearson, the southpaw, delivers a pitch high to the left-handed hitter. Dane St. Clair up for the second time today. He was hit by a pitch his first time up against Pearson. And now the senior back in the box. A second-team season for St. Clair. It was first team last year, but second team this year. I think that he played well enough to be first team by the end of the season. It was just a little bit of a slow start for the senior year for Dane as he takes a pitch high, 2-0.
I was just going to say pretty much the exact same thing. I feel like he played well enough to be a first teamer. Might have just been a number of options available in the outfield this year.
2-0 up and inside, 3-0. And we mentioned the competitive nature of the Southwest Conference this year. A lot of really good teams making the postseason, 6 of them. The Indians did a pretty good job representing on the first and second team. Pitch in for a strike, 3-1. And I think that's the surprising thing is that Roseburg, the success they had this season, winning the Southwest Conference, all of their players named to the first or second team. No honorable mention this year.
Yeah, that's kind of interesting.
St. Clair takes it outside and tosses the bat as he'll head to first base. Another walk for Alex Pearson, who now is up to 4 walks.
Dane St. Clair, a little bit of style, a little bit of swag. Riz, is that what the kids say nowadays?
That's not it.
Okay. He tosses that bat away. It felt like he was almost trying to send a bit of a message with all of that.
I appreciate the effort. Wrong definition. Throw the first base. He definitely has the swag. A little bit of swagger. Riz would be if he's trying to impress a lady.
Well, maybe he was.
Maybe he was. Runner at first base, pitch up and away. Now 1 ball and no strikes to Cal Robbins.
See here, young whippersnapper. Back in my day, we called that peacocking a little bit.
I haven't heard that.
You know, when they'd walk around and they got the plume of all their feathers behind trying to impress the ladies. That's peacocking out there.
1 ball and no strikes to Cal Robbins. Swing and a miss, 1-1. Are you just saying that for Dane because he has the bright red hair that you can see it from a mile away, kind of like the same way you can see the peacock feathers?
It would fit, that's for sure. Soft toss over to first. Dane gets back in as out there Alex Pearson keeping an eye on him. Dane is a threat to steal, by the way. He leads the team with 10 stolen bases.
Robbins 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Takes a strike on the inside part of the plate. Now 1 ball and 2 strikes. So Cal, his first playoff game as a Roseburg Indian.
Whoa.
Throwback towards first and awkward.
I'm not sure what happened there, if that was intended or if that was he was about to commit a balk and he just hucked it over that direction, but it was almost like he was shooting a free throw there for Alex Pearson as he threw that to first.
1-2. Robbins swings and flies it out towards right field. St. Clair was moving on
that
the
ball's
pitch.
carrying.
It's
Go!
gonna drop down, goes over the wall, and so it'll be a ground rule double.
Wow. We have seen this turf come into play plenty when balls hit off the infield and they take high hops for the infielders to try and play. That ball hit just in front of the warning track, and it bounced twice as high as the fence is out in right field, which it's only maybe about 8 feet tall, I would say. No, it's probably taller than that.
It's probably taller
Probably
than that.
closer to 10 feet. But that ball skied up into the air like 15, 20 feet high as it hit off the turf and went over for a ground rule double.
That the first hit of the game for Roseburg. Really remarkable to say, as they've had base runners in each of the first 2 innings.
Although not surprising that it's Cal with an extra base hit.
Yeah, he does that a ton. First pitch swinging for Jake Johnson as he flies it out towards the right side of the infield. The second baseman, Carter Jordan, under it to make the catch for out number 1. So a big first out with 2 runners in scoring position for Alex Pearson. And again, it's him coming up with clutch outs with runners in scoring position. But you mentioned Cal Robbins and the extra base hits. I mean, this season, how many extra base hits to singles does he have? I believe he still has more.
Yeah. Cal had 19 extra base hits, only 13 singles. So, yeah, that's basically what he does.
His slugging percentage is through the roof.
The Indians, though, here's yet again another opportunity with less than 2 outs. They've got runners in scoring positions, and they've got the heart of the lineup here. Last time a strikeout for Luke Robbins. Starts off with a ball, and he's got a golden opportunity.
He certainly does as the 5-hole hitter. 2 in scoring position, the 1-0 pitch. Robbins takes it above the letters. Now 2 balls and no strikes.
You know, you'll talk with coaches sometimes, and sometimes guys can be effectively wild, where a lot of times you don't know what's coming out. We've seen Pearson be deadly accurate with his strikeouts and then throw them to the backstop. When you don't know what's coming out of a guy's hand, it can make it difficult to hit him sometimes.
2-0 pitch. A little bit low, now 3-0. We've also seen him hit a batter, so there's that kind of mental factor that goes into it as well.
Even when a guy's like throwing strikes, it can be difficult because you don't know if he's throwing it to the backstop, if he's throwing it near your head, or if he's throwing it right through the strike zone.
3-0 pitch. High. So it's another walk. That the 5th walk of the afternoon for Pearson, who entered the inning with 48 pitches thrown through the first 2. And now Danner Wirtz will come to the plate with the bases loaded. Big opportunity for the freshman.
Danner Wirtz, the victim of the put out at the plate. And, man, he's looking to probably get some redemption here.
First pitch, Wirtz takes it up and away. Now 1 ball and no strikes.
I have been instructed that it's an 8-foot fence in everywhere else, and in center field a 10-foot fence. And 10 foot does not feel tall enough in center field, but this is from a guy that should know. So, Mr. Admire, thank you for the info.
1-0. In for a strike, 1-1. To be honest, like, I've stood next to the fences in center field. I feel like 8 feet kind of tracks. Center field, I'm definitely a little bit higher. Sorry, I guess like the fence is out in left field and right field.
8 feet could be. Yeah, that seems
that could
bad.
track.
Strike in on the 1-1 there to Wirtz. I'm not used to sitting in the booth and not doing the play-by-play, so I keep trying to steal your thunder here. My apologies. Bases loaded.
1 ball and 2 strikes. The base is loaded for Wirtz. Pearson dangling the arm. Comes set at the waist. He kicks and deals. Outside, now 2 balls and 2 strikes. And it certainly feels like when Pearson is on, he's on, and when he's off, he's been way off. And he's just trying to find that rhythm. But again, with the bases loaded, an opportunity here to try to work himself out of a jam. Did so last inning with the bases loaded. 2-2. Wirtz takes high and inside, and now that coveted full count pitch upcoming with the bases loaded.
Yeah, this will be interesting to see what happens here. The way that Pearson's been pitching, man, you kind of want Wirtz to be really selective.
Payoff pitch, grounded towards the right side, through the 3-4 hole into right field. In to score from third base is St. Clair. Right behind him is Robbins. Throw goes to third, not in time, as Luke Robbins ends up at third base, and Danner Wirtz comes through with a 2 RBI single.
Way to go, Danner Wirtz, the freshman, the big hit. He bounces one through the right side. Like you said, we were talking about this. He hasn't necessarily hit for a ton of power, but he has just been able to find ways to make his base hits effective. And he comes up with 2 runs on that one-out single to right field. And nice job by Luke Robbins on the throw, cut off on the infield. Robbins able to take third, put runners on the corners.
So runners on the corners, 1 out for A.J. Black, the left fielder. And the first pitch is in for a strike, 0-1. So 2-0, Roseburg with the lead, thanks to Danner Wirtz's 2 RBI single. He's come through a lot this season. Throw back towards first base. In fact, I feel bad because the last 2 Saturdays we've had doubleheaders. He's been the batter that has the go-ahead hit, and then he pitches game 2, and the Indians have lost game 2 both times. Not necessarily to Wirtz's fault. He's pitched a good game. But, having to go interview him about getting that go-ahead hit in game number 1, as this one is bunted foul, 0-2, because he's been such a clutch hitter at the plate. And I feel bad because he's coming off that loss, and he's not necessarily thinking about that first game. But he has had big-time hits, even though he may forget about it because he's been working on his pitching throughout the season. But he comes through here.
Well, he came up with the clutch hit, just the second hit in the ballgame for Roseburg, but this third inning is big and a big one.
The 0-2 bounces in. Now 1 ball and 2 strikes.
And there has been continued activity in the bullpen out there for Tigard. It continues to be Cam McCormick, a right-hander, a junior, throwing in the bullpen. Got another playoff score to pass along here when we get a second from Douglas County.
1-2 pitch. Down low, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
The Glide Wildcats are on the road at Lakeview in the 3A baseball state playoffs, but they lose in that one 3-0 as Lakeview will advance. And the Glide Wildcats have their season come to an end.
2 balls and 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. It's hit off towards the right side. Fielding it at second is Jordan. He flips the 2-for-1. The throw to first base in time. A double play. So the Tigers turn 2 to end the inning, but not before Roseburg can score 2 runs off of 2 hits. They leave 1 stranded and no errors defensively for Tigard. The Indians take the lead in the bottom of the 3rd. It is 2-0 as we'll head to the top of the 4th inning. You're listening to Roseburg Baseball here on 541radio.com and The Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
I'm confused by the huge market swings.
Get a better understanding of your finances. At Palm Wealth Management, we care about your priorities and help restore financial security. Call Palm Wealth Management today.
Do I have enough money put away to retire?
Plan for your future with confidence. At Palm Wealth Management, we'll help you see a clear path to financial peace of mind. Call Palm Wealth Management today.
Quality Fences, doing it right for you. Just ask your neighbor.
They reflect a style as unique as you are. They make first impressions. They provide space, add lasting beauty and security. Quality is a reflection of who you are. That's why all your fencing projects begin here.
Quality Fences, doing it right for you.
Top of the 4th inning, 2-0 the score. Roseburg with the lead. Special thanks to our sponsor, DC Farmers Co-op, where everyone is welcome to shop.
And we want to say thanks to Gibbs RV Superstore, a sponsor of our expanded postseason baseball coverage. They've been with us throughout the regular season, but thanks to Gibbs for helping us make sure that we can get coverage of the postseason underway for you, a little bit more of a built-in cost to the postseason. So we appreciate some of our sponsors stepping up and making an extra investment in that. That's Gibbs RV Superstore. You got to get to Gibbs.
Grant Fensler is going to be leading things off. Jake Johnson on the bump. First pitch, a breaking ball, and it drops in beautifully for a strike, 0-1.
You don't take anything for granted, but with a 2-0 lead for Jake Johnson, I mean, that feels solid for that guy to really give him some confidence out there.
The 0-1, a swing and a miss at a ball in the turf, and Fensler went chasing. 0-2.
I mean, like I said, I don't want to say that we can just pack it in and get ready, but, Jake's been throwing so well and been able to do so with games that have been tight. And so
If you can hear that, that's me knocking on wood.
Oh, look out.
Went right towards the dugout.
Foul ball right past all the Tigers up along that top fence line watching the game from field level.
That's the thing about standing on the field level is that you got to be aware of the foul balls. You're a little bit closer to it.
Yeah.
The 0-2. Swing and a miss. Punch out for Jake Johnson as he starts the fourth inning with a strikeout. That his third.
Second time he gets Fensler as well. Struck out looking in the first.
Johnson is season ERA entering today 2.57, so you have 2 runs on the board, a pretty good start. Ground ball to the right side. Austin Fields flips the first to retire Connor Riley, the 4-hole hitter, who's now 1 for 2 after singling back in the first. Quickly 2 away here in the top of the fourth.
Nice, trying to keep pitch counts low. We talked about Jake came in, 38 pitches through 3 innings, and already he's gotten 2 quick outs.
Johnson delivers a pitch. Up high, now 1 ball and no strikes. So here's Landon Duchesne, the DH today, up for the second time. Popped up to second, his first time up against Johnson. 1-0 pitch, swing and a miss. Early swing as Johnson dropped it down low.
Pulls the trigger on that one, and that ball just had a lot of movement.
1-1 from Johnson, another breaking ball. This one popped in the air out towards foul territory. First base side, now right field side, and it's a little bit too far for Austin, Coleman, and Wirtz, who are all chasing in the area.
Some good speed trying to chase that one down. Nobody able to get there in time. Hey, we mentioned it earlier, but I just saw a young lady in her softball uniform. So, again, a big shout-out to the Roseburg softball team. 4-0 win today to advance to the second round as they knock out Sandy. And now they get ready for their game coming up Wednesday at home.
1 ball and 2 strikes. Johnson rings him up. Called strike 3. A 1-2-3 inning for Jake Johnson as he picks up his 3rd and 4th strikeouts of the game in this top of the 4th inning. Well, folks, we're halfway through the game. We're headed to the bottom of the 4th inning. The score right now is 2-0, Roseburg with the lead. You're listening to Roseburg Baseball here on 541radio.com and the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
My wife and I moved to Oregon to raise a family, set our roots, and to have a lot of fun outdoors. We quickly realized that we needed a truck or a rig for the projects that we were doing in our backyard. When we were looking to find a place to finance our truck, we asked our patients, and everyone recommended Cascade Community Credit Union. It was so easy to work with Cascade. Everything was done via email, phone, and we didn't even need to go in. I can't wait to finish up the projects in the backyard, go on more adventures in our truck with our boys, and I look forward to working with Cascade again in the future.
At Douglas County Farmers Co-op, we want your 4-legged friends to be healthy and happy. That's why we stock a carefully curated selection of pet, equine, and livestock supplies. From the premium foods your pets crave to grooming and show supplies that help you shine in the show ring, you'll find it at Douglas County Farmers Co-op. Our knowledgeable staff are here to help with those tough pet and livestock care questions. Stop by or shop at DouglasCountyFarmersCoop.com.
Bottom of the 4th inning, a new pitcher coming into the game. Cam McCormick entering for Alex Pearson. We'll get you Pearson's line in just a second, but we do want to give thanks to Cascade Community Credit Union, belong to Douglas County, as well as McClendon Smokehouse, a family-owned meat shop and smokehouse offering a wide selection, plus fresh produce, baked goods, and a general grocery selection. You can stop by on West Harvard Avenue.
Alex Pearson goes 3 innings to get the start here for Tigard. He allows 2 runs on 2 hits. The big issue was walks. He had 5 of them. He did strike out 4, including striking out the side in the first inning. He also did hit 1 batter in there. He'll be on the hook for the loss unless the score changes. Winner of this one moves on to face either Forest Grove or Grant coming up on Wednesday. If Roseburg wins, they'll be here at home again on Wednesday.
So here's Cam McCormick. First pitch now to Amos Bowers is fouled back 0-1. So Bowers batting in the 8th spot, followed by Caden Austin and Paxton Burke. Batters 8, 9, and 1 for Roseburg right here on the bottom of the 4th inning. McCormick, a right-hander, so Burke, who's in the hole, is going to bat from the lefty box for the first time today. Upstairs now, 1 ball and 1 strike.
Alex Pearson did throw 73 pitches, is what we heard them announce for the official pitch count. So if Tigard were to come back around, they could probably pitch on Friday if that were the case for the Tigers.
A little bit high now, 2 balls and 1 strike. Maybe a reason why you pull him here at the situation. So 2 balls and 1 strike to Amos Bowers. Right-handed hitter. 2-1. Breaking ball in for a strike, 2-2. Now, Bowers, for a majority of the season, he's been a defensive catcher. He's hit for himself just a couple of times, not a ton of at-bats on the season. Bowers this season, coming in today, just 19 plate appearances, 17 at-bats. 2-2 pitch, up and inside, now 3-2. Going into the last doubleheader game of the season, the game number 2 against Grants Pass, he got the nod to hit, had a pretty good day at the plate. Coach Thompson, he said, you're batting 8th, which means you're batting 2nd cleanup. So that's the designation for the 8-hole hitter. Swings and misses, though, on the 3-2 pitch. So a strikeout for Cam McCormick to start his afternoon.
McCormick, we get a chance to try and see what he has for us out there on the mound. Seems like a mixture of fastball, changeup, and a curveball slider option there for him. 3-pitch selection, as most pitchers have.
First pitch to Caden Austin. Bunts it right back to the pitcher. McCormick fields it. The PFP's playing off right there.
PFP?
Pitcher fielding practice.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
That was
you were probably not a pitcher back in your day.
That was for the listening audience that maybe didn't know your acronyms there. Not for me. I knew that one right off the top of my head.
2 outs after Caden Austin's pop up to the pitcher, and now here's Paxton Burke, who grounds one sharply to third base. Fielding it at third and throwing it to first was Fensler, but it gets away from the first baseman Fry, and so ending up at second base is Burke.
Second charged error in the ball game for Tigard. And it was a nice play on the front end of that one for Fensler at third. A sharp one-hopper coming right at him. He took it on the side, but was able to field it cleanly, but just didn't throw strong enough across the diamond, and Fry couldn't handle it at first. Scoots on by, and for those from Tigard that maybe haven't seen this ballpark, there's a lot of territory behind the bags on first and third base side. Pickoff throws that get away, throws to first that get away, usually will end up with a player at the extra base, or sometimes even more.
So now runner in scoring position, 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th, 2-0. Roseburg with the lead, and Dane St. Clair has an opportunity here to add on to the lead. First pitch swinging for St. Clair. He's swinging through his shoes. 0-1 on a pitch near the ankles.
Well, he finally gets to see a right-hander, and he has been hit by a pitch and walked in his first 2 at-bats, so I'm not surprised he's looking to try and see if he can rip one here.
No balls and 1 strike. Here's the pitch to Dayton. Chops it right off himself and foul. 0-2. Could certainly see a player being aggressive. I think he just wants to swing.
Well, and there's 2 outs with a man in scoring position here, so a walk obviously nice to get on base, but at this point in time with 2 outs, if you can find one to the alley or over the head of the outfielders, you've got a chance to add to the score. So your big hitters, let them rip.
And time's called before the pitch was thrown, and a little bit awkward.
Yeah, didn't get the signal there until very late. Dane granted that timeout as he calls for it late. Out at second base, Paxton Burke really trying to draw a lot of attention for the new pitcher, Cam McCormick.
The 0-2 pitch. St. Clair grounds it through the 3-4 hole into right field. Burke racing around third, and he'll come in and score.
They are waving this off. They are... I don't know what the call is, but they're calling it a dead ball, and Coach Sestair down at first base is fired up. They called a balk, I think is what they called.
Oh.
That's the only thing that could really make sense here in this situation is they call a balk before the pitch, and so Dane is going to have to go back to because they're giving Paxton Burke third base.
They are, and it looks like Coach Thompson, he put his hand over his chest saying, that's on me. I think he might have screamed balk. The umpire agreed with him. They're going to move Burke to third base.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Which is really unfortunate.
And Coach Astaire had his hands thrown up down at first base side, wondering why the call there, but I'm pretty sure that's what it had to have been.
The 0-2. St. Clair called strike 3.
That's a brutal turn of events there for the Indians.
So a strikeout for McCormick ends the inning after a controversial play takes a run off the board. Either way, it's no hits, no runs, 1 error, and 1 left stranded. We're headed to the top of the 5th. The score is 2-0. Roseburg with the lead here on 541radio.com and the score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
I'm confused by the huge market swings.
Get a better understanding of your finances. At Palm Wealth Management, we care about your priorities and help restore financial security. Call Palm Wealth Management today.
Do I have enough money put away to retire?
Plan for your future with confidence. At Palm Wealth Management, we'll help you see a clear path to financial peace of mind. Call Palm Wealth Management today.
Quality Fences, doing it right for you. Just ask your neighbor.
They reflect a style as unique as you are. They make first impressions. They provide space, add lasting beauty and security. Quality is a reflection of who you are. That's why all your fencing projects begin here.
Quality Fences, doing it right for you.
2-0. Roseburg with the lead in the top of the 5th inning.
Our expanded postseason coverage of Roseburg baseball is presented by Winston Auto Care. Don't strike out with car troubles. Call Winston Auto Care at 679-8685. Your home team for auto repair for over 25 years. And we want to say thanks to Roseburg Forest Products, also jumping on for our postseason coverage. Since 1936, Roseburg Forest Products has been a highly respected industry leader known for its commitment to its customers, its employees, and the environment. Roseburg Forest Products, making lives better from the ground up.
Jake Johnson back on the bump for Roseburg as the right-hander wheels and deals. First pitch. This is the zone. Now 1 ball and no strikes from Johnson, who picked up 2 strikeouts last inning and a 1-2-3 fourth. Now back out for the 5th. Indians still leading by 2. Johnson delivers down low. 2 balls and no strikes.
That was a real interesting way things worked out there in that bottom of the 4th inning, the balk call that might have been kind of initiated by Coach Thompson down at 3rd.
2-0 pitch. It's going to be hit out towards left field for a base hit. On 2 hops, it goes to A.J. Black after it ricocheted off his left knee. He collects and throws it in to keep Miles Ott at first base. So a hit for Tigard, that the 4th hit of the game for the Tigers.
See if the Tigers can try to take advantage of what ended up being a beneficial turn of events there in that 4th inning with the balk call wiping out what would have been an RBI single for Dane St. Clair. They look to try and get back in this one.
Here's Connor Bach as he fouls it off 0-1. Bach grounded out to first base, his first time up for the second time. Gets a second look at Johnson, the Southwest Conference Player of the Year. Throws back towards first base, a bang-bang play, but just in before the tag is on.
Wind continues to blow left to right across the diamond here. Some shadows starting to creep out from the left field side across the diamond as we work our way into the evening.
The 0-1 pitch. It's going to be lined towards left field. Foul. 0-2. Now, we got a ton of wind at the softball facility. Now, not necessarily on the field, but up on the press box at Finlay Field where we were. But today out here at Champion Car Wash, a lot more breeze.
Yeah, 68 degrees as we are starting to cool off from a high of 70 here in the Umpqua Basin.
The 0-2. Grounded right back to Johnson. He fields, goes to 2 for 1. Burke bobbles it for a second and then throws to first base. I think he had a little bit of trouble in the exchange from the glove to the hand, and that slow little motion allowed the runner in Bach to reach first base safely.
Just it was kind of a long one. Jake off the mound, a little awkward to get to the ball, coming down off of the bump to get to that one, then turns and throws, and it wasn't necessarily the best throw to make that transition for Burke out there, but he did a good job of doing it. Just all those little things that added up and giving a fraction more time for Bach to get to first base. And here comes Coach Thompson out of the dugout to have a conversation that maybe they actually asked for a sort of interference call in the slide to second. Could maybe be what I'm thinking about here.
I think that's what he's thinking about, too, in this situation. Didn't seem like he got the response he was hoping for as he'll head back into the dugout.
And so Bach will get to stay at first with his fielder's choice.
How do you feel about Coach Thompson coaching against a former player? Like, do you think this one means a little bit more for him?
I think it means just as much as it does as any other one, but I think it is a pretty fun opportunity for these two to go after each other.
First pitch to Dominic Taylor is fouled back 0-1.
Once the first pitch of the ball game was underway, it's another playoff game that he wants to win just as badly as he does any other one. But I think the fact that they're familiar with each other definitely just adds a fun little element, a little spice to it. But this game means just as much as any other game for Coach Thompson.
No balls and 1 strike. Here's the pitch. Fastball up and away, 1-1. Now on the opposite side, what do you think about Coach Leach out there? Do you think he wants it a little bit more to kind of school his old boss?
I think he wants it quite a bit to try to maybe get some momentum going for his team.
1-1, up and away.
As they look to try and make a run in the postseason and needing to go on the road to do so. And so this is obviously a big, tall task for them to try and win on the road in a different place. I think it'd be fun for him to be able to win in his hometown, but I don't think it necessarily would mean anything more for him to get it against Coach Thompson and Coach Sestair, guys that were in the dugout with him when he was a player.
2-1 is outside, 3-1. Now, do you think that Coach Leach is taking the boys somewhere local after the game?
That'd be a good question. I don't know. They had a big bus they pulled in with, so they're going to have to find a big parking lot if they do that.
Pitch is outside for ball 4. So now 2 runners in scoring position with still just 1 out here in the top of the 5th inning. First traffic on the base paths for Johnson since the first inning.
And that's the first walk that he has issued today. It comes against the lefty Dominic Taylor. And puts runners at first and second.
So the tying run is at first base. In the 2-0 game, top of the 5th, 1 out. Carter Jordan will be coming up to hit now.
Could use one of those ground balls to help let his defense help him out up the middle there.
Robbins and Wirtz in a little bit at the corners. First pitch, up and inside to Jordan, 1-0.
No activity in either bullpen going right now. I was kind of wondering, hey, you got to win these games, so I think they're going to ride Jake as long as they need to, but I'm sure they'll keep track of that pitch count in their head.
1-0 pitch. In the zone for a strike at the knees, 1-1. He's worked pretty efficiently. First 3 innings, he was only 38 pitches through them.
Yeah, I got to get a pitch count update at some point here. I missed it after those first 3, but he has been efficient.
1 ball and 1 strike. Johnson will step off the mound. And he had a 1-2-3 4th inning. A couple of strikeouts in that inning, but not a ton of pitches. This one, the most amount that he's thrown in quite some time. 1-1 delivery. Fastball for a strike. 1-2. Now, this is my first time calling baseball with you, at least here at Champion Car Wash Field. I guess we did do the docks last summer, but do you typically do the strike calls?
No, I'm just getting into it because you're doing play-by-play, so I get to be more of a fan over here.
1-2, swing and a miss. A strikeout for Johnson. That's his 5th. 2 away.
I guess sometimes maybe I get into it a little bit with some hand motions, but...
Now, see, I do it for, like, the big throws. Like, Amos Bowers throwing out the runner at second base. Like, I'll be like, he got him, and, like, do the punching out motion. Strikeouts are new. I don't do, like, the strike. Strike 1, strike 2.
Well, and I know...
Do you ring them up?
I know in your position you're focused on a lot of things, so I'm also trying to make sure I help you out by indicating it was a strike or a ball call.
Pitch inside, 1 ball and no strikes.
Because I know when I'm doing this by myself, a lot of times I might miss some of the calls that go by. Got another Southwest Conference final in the playoffs.
1-0, breaking ball in the zone for a strike, 1-1.
Southwest Conference goes to 2-0 in first-round games as South Medford gets an upset win on the road, 3-2 over Ida B. Wells. So Sheldon and South Medford both have advanced in the first round.
1-1. Popped up out towards right field. Fletcher Coleman moves a few steps in, squeezes the glove for out number 3. Well, a couple of runners left stranded after one hit, no errors, and a walk in the inning. One hit overall for Tigard as we'll head to the bottom of the 5th inning. Roseburg still is leading 2-0. Offense coming back up to hit on the other half of this 1-minute timeout on 541radio.com and the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
My wife and I moved to Oregon to raise a family, set our roots, and to have a lot of fun outdoors. We quickly realized that we needed a truck or a rig for the projects that we were doing in the backyard. When we were looking to find a place to finance our truck, we asked our patients, and everyone recommended Cascade Community Credit Union. It was so easy to work with Cascade. Everything was done via email, phone, and we didn't even need to go in. I can't wait to finish up the projects in the backyard, go on more adventures in our truck with our boys, and I look forward to working with Cascade again in the future.
At Douglas County Farmers Co-op, we want your four-legged friends to be healthy and happy. That's why we stock a carefully curated selection of pet, equine, and livestock supplies. From the premium foods your pets crave to grooming and show supplies that help you shine in the show ring, you'll find it at Douglas County Farmers Co-op. Our knowledgeable staff are here to help with those tough pet and livestock care questions. Stop by or shop at DouglasCountyFarmersCoop.com.
Bottom of the 5th inning, 2-0, Roseburg with the lead. Hey folks, as a reminder for all of you on the road, Oregon Department of Transportation encourages you to please be sure to park your phone so that our roadways are safer for everyone. Special message from the Oregon Department of Transportation. Special thanks to our sponsor, Palm Wealth Management, a member of D.A. Davidson and Company, member SIPC. So the Indians coming back up to hit here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Cam McCormick's first pitch to Cal Robbins is chopped over to third. Fielding it is the third baseman, Fensler. And this time he retires his counterpart, Cal Robbins, for out number 1.
Cal Robbins almost, that one was close, almost got it to take that high Baltimore chop up over the top of the the third baseman, but able to play back on it there. Fensler making the play across the diamond.
So Robbins out at third, one out, and nobody on for Jake Johnson. Pitcher at the plate. Takes the first pitch inside, 1-0. Baltimore bounce, eh?
Baltimore chop.
Do you know why they call it that?
Do you?
I don't. That's why I'm asking you.
I can make up any reason, and you believe me.
1 ball and no strikes. This one bounces in.
I would assume that it was a play that maybe the old-time Baltimore team, because it's an old term, they used on a ball that is hit directly into the turf to take a high hop to try and either make it a play that takes a long time for an infielder to get to or to get over the infield.
2-0. Chopper to third, and it goes left of the line, foul.
But it was a purposeful swing that they would try to tomahawk that ball into the turf, and maybe in Baltimore, a play like that, maybe that turf was a little bit harder than other surfaces around Major League Baseball at the time. I'm not sure. Here comes the Google machine.
2 balls and 1 strike. Johnson swings and fouls it off at the plate. Now 2 balls and 2 strikes.
And that clipped our home plate umpire just a little bit there. Baltimore chop. I know the term, but it's named for the Baltimore Orioles of the late 19th century who perfected this strategy to get runners on base.
There you go.
There you go. Have you heard of the term? Speaking of which, I was in San Diego for a Padres game, and there was a ball that was hit, and the scoreboard started to flash a term that I had not heard before, and we'll get to that in a second.
2-2 pitch. At the knees, called strike 3. So a strikeout for McCormick is third.
Gets Jake Johnson there, 2 away. Jake pitching great, but at the plate, 0 for 3 with a pair of strikeouts right now. Luke Robbins will try to get something started for the Indians, leading 2-0. Rammy cackle.
No.
Yep, I had to look that one up as well.
They had that on the big board?
Yeah.
A Rammy cackle.
Let me double check and make sure I'm remembering that whole term
First
correctly.
pitch to Luke Robbins, down and away. No, I haven't heard that one, let alone be on the big screen at a baseball stadium.
Well, and see, I Google it, and the Padres come up specifically.
Oh, so maybe it's like a San Diego thing?
I think it's still a baseball term, as a ball fouled away. Well, somebody was just asking in the Padres forum on Reddit about what that means.
I love baseball terms. Like, there's so many fun ones, right?
There are.
1 ball and 1 strike. Here's the pitch to Robbins. Just gets a piece of it and fouls it away, 1-2.
I was looking. It is Rammy Cackle. Here we go. When a ball is crushed, usually for long distance or at a great speed.
Okay.
That is Rammy Cackle.
If it's like a no-doubt home run, like O'Neal Cruz's home run yesterday for the Pirates that went like 190, or not 190, it was like 129.
I think it was 122, the fastest ever hit ball in the StatCast era.
Pitch up and away. Now 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Tigard thought that was going to be strike 3 there. So Rammy Cackle, a ball crushed, a line drive that is just absolutely smashed. And, he Rammy Cackled it. Keep that one in your lexicon.
I feel like that's something for like the Sports Center host to know. Like, I feel like they use those unique terms. 2-2. Check swing. The appeal down towards first base. He did not go around 3-2. My favorite one I love to use, I use it quite frequently, is the sombrero.
Is that for a guy that strikes out 3 times?
Yeah.
And then the golden sombrero?
And that's 4 times.
Yep, it is.
So those are my favorite 2 that I use quite a bit, typically because they actually come up quite a bit. 3-2 is popped in the air out towards right field. And out to make the catch is Miles Ott for out number 3. A 1-2-3 inning for Cam McCormick on the mound as the Indians go down in order for the bottom of the 5th inning. Well, folks, this one has been fun, and hopefully we get to do more play-by-play, or at least I will. Joey Keeran, he's going to take over for play-by-play on the other half of this inning as we head to the 6th inning. The score is 2-0. Roseburg with the lead here on 541radio.com, and the score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Hey there, sports fans. Thanks for watching this local sporting event online at 541radio.com. Did you know there's more than one way to watch games online? You can watch games on your laptop or desktop computer, your tablet, or even your smartphone just by going to 541radio.com. But we also use YouTube to stream all of our video broadcasts, which means you could be watching this game on your big screen TV with a number of different streaming devices. You can stream our live YouTube broadcast through your PlayStation or Xbox gaming device, or through streaming devices like Google Chromecast, Apple TV, or Roku. There's plenty of ways to follow this live local sporting event. Plus, you can find past events archived on 1490 The Score's YouTube channel. Find us on YouTube and subscribe today to keep up with the latest in local sports coverage. It's been a tight one for the first 5 innings. We head to the top of the 6th. Tigard trailing 2-0 against Roseburg in the first round of the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union State Championships. On Point Community Credit Union is a proud sponsor of the OSAA State Championships. On Point is Oregon's largest locally headquartered credit union, serving more than 563,000 members. Visit onpointcu.com. On Point is federally insured by NCUA Equal Housing Opportunity. Jake Johnson continues to pitch for Roseburg as we go to the 6th inning. I'm Joey Keeran, Knight Jarecki with the play-by-play, the last 3 frames. Appreciate that. And Knight, it's fun to get to do the games with you here. We've got a brief break in the action out to the mound. They're checking in with Jake about something, and I think he's going to have to take off something out of his
what it is his arm sleeve. And this happened the other day at Sheldon, and to me, I think that this is just ridiculous at this point because
he's pitched with it for 5 innings.
He's pitched with it for 5 innings. This is the 6th inning, and they're saying that it has to be the same color as his shirt. So the jersey is white, so he has to wear a white armband. But they didn't say anything to this point. All they're trying to do is get in his head, mess with his rhythm. He obviously hasn't given up a run, so this is what they're resorting to. At least that's my personal opinion. I think it's it's a shame that, he can't go out there and throw. With the armband, he's literally been throwing with the entirety of the game.
Alex Pearson steps in. He has an 0-1 count as he swings through. Jake Johnson gets a ground ball back up the mound. It'll go to shortstop where Paxton Burke is there to back up the play. Jake falling to the turf as he tried to get his glove on that one. Slick turf, cleats go out from underneath him. Seems to be all right, and he had his defense back behind him to get Alex Pearson, who notably wearing a white sleeve with a black jersey top.
So, yeah, if Roseburg wanted to, they could go and talk to them about it.
I'm just wondering. I mean,
actually, well,
orange is in the jersey for Roseburg. First pitch here to Grant Finsler, lifted out towards right center and tracking it down. Dane St. Clair is there to make the catch. 2 away, and maybe more importantly here, an efficient inning going right now for Jake Johnson with 2 down. He'll face Connor Riley, the cleanup hitter.
Yeah, just 3 pitches so far, up to 68. Again, he's trying to stay below that 85 pitch threshold. Any more pitches than 85 or more, then he would be ineligible to throw on Friday.
If Roseburg were to make it to that point.
Still 4 outs to get there.
Yep. And he fires a first pitch, strike 1 to Connor Riley, who is 1 for 2 in the game with a single back in the first inning. So apparently losing the arm sleeve not affecting Jake as he'll get a roll over to the right side. Caden Austin there, 2 pitches in, and Connor Riley goes down. And I think if you were down in the dugout, pitching coach Steve Patterson and the rest of the crew, they are all fist-pumping, saying that's exactly what we needed out of Jake Johnson, an efficient 1-2-3 top of the 6th inning, and he's in a good spot as we have 3 outs left to go for Roseburg defensively in this one. They'll look to add some insurance after a 1-2-3 top of the 6th. It is 2-0 Indians in front of the Tigers here on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM at 1490 AM.
Always handled my own finances, but I need help.
Get a better understanding of your finances. At Palm Wealth Management, we care about your priorities and help restore financial security. Call Palm Wealth Management today.
How should I be investing my money?
Plan for your future with confidence. At Palm Wealth Management, we'll help you see a clear path to financial peace of mind. Call Palm Wealth Management today.
Quality Fences, doing it right for you. Just ask your neighbor. Quality Fences, doing it right for you.
Batters number 20, Danner Wirtz.
Roseburg baseball coming up to bat in the bottom of the 6th inning. Danner Wirtz, A.J. Black, and Amos Bowers. As Wirtz chomps away at the first pitch from Cam McCormick, who has come in and he has pitched 2 scoreless innings, has not given up a hit against Roseburg as he relieves Alex Pearson, who did stay in the game defensively. He's playing at first base. The 0-1 pitch to Wirtz, breaking ball outside. Do want to acknowledge Southern Septic Service, one of our postseason sponsors here for coverage of Roseburg baseball on the Score. 1-1 delivery coming up from McCormick. Breaking ball low. From residential to commercial, Southern Septic Service has your behind covered when it comes to septic tank pumping and inspections, portable toilet rentals, and grease trap cleaning. Southern Septic Service is woman and veteran owned and proud to support our local sports teams. 2-1 pitch. Wirtz goes right side again. One hop gets past the glove of a diving second baseman. Carter Jordan couldn't handle it as he goes to the turf. And Danner Wirtz quietly having a very productive day at the plate. I don't know if it's even quietly. He had the 2 RBI single in the 3rd inning that gave Roseburg the only runs of the game so far.
He's the reason why Roseburg is leading right now 2-0.
And he almost was the reason why they led 1-0 early but got thrown out trying to score on a sac fly. They'll bring in a runner for him. They're going to put in at first base Zeb Johnson, a pinch runner. It's not a courtesy runner, a pinch runner for Danner Wirtz, the first baseman. That'll bring up A.J. Black. We're going to try to pause for a legal ID here in just a moment. A.J. Black stands in. Could be a bunt opportunity and a pickoff throw to first from McCormick, not in time.
I think that's what Tigard's thinking about here in this situation.
Well, it's definitely that type of spot in this game. Roseburg looking to try and manufacture something. McCormick's pitch, a bunt laid down, goes right back to the mound, fielded. McCormick's only plays to first, and it pulls him off the bag. And back to the bag goes Black. And up to second base will go Danner Wirtz. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is Roseburg Baseball on The Score. That'll go down as a throwing error for the pitcher, Cam McCormick. He just had to make an easy toss to Pearson, but his throw off line, and it pulled Pearson off the bag. And that puts runners at first and second with nobody out. We get a visit out to the mound for head coach James Leach. It's hard for me to say James. He'll be booged to me. And he said that there are a select number of folks that still refer to him as that, but he's in his professional world now. He's now switched to James.
Yeah, he was like, it's James now.
Deer style, efficiency, and performance. Glad we're on the same team this season and every season. Let's keep huddling up and going for it. Toyota, let's go places. Not a pitching change. It's going to still be McCormick on the mound, but, and actually that might not be Boog. Yeah, that's one of his assistant coaches that made that trek out there. Similar build to that guy. Probably their pitching coach. The staff for this Tigard team, Coach Leach and Coach Stanley. They've probably, much like Roseburg, they've probably added all of the JV and freshman coaches in the dugout as well. It's fun to see all the other guys get a chance to be with the big club here in the postseason. Coach Justin O'Byrne, the JV coach, along with Coach Jordan Humphreys and Jay Tuvey, the freshman coach. Good to see all those guys. Pickoff throw, no throw, but a look back to second. Out at second base, that is Zebediah Johnson. A.J. Black at first, nobody out. Amos Bowers might be looking to lay down a bunt here, and they're playing him as if he will. He does square, and he'll take a strike on the outside corner. Always a tricky spot here. Runners at first and second when the offense looks to try to lay down that sack bunt.
Well, and I know a lot of coaches, when you get in this situation, first and second, nobody out, it's automatic. Like, you got to lay down a sacrifice bunt and advance both runners into scoring position.
And third base is kind of, you would feel, you want to make that pitcher have to either field his position well, or you want to make the third baseman have to come in and get it and leave third base open for the runner at second. Can Bowers do it? The 0-1 pitch is low, and it gets by the catcher. Taylor couldn't backhand it. Everybody moves up 90 feet, and suddenly that will change the scenario here. That'll go down as a pass ball to move both runners up 90 feet.
And this is huge, especially if Roseburg can come through right here and score both of these runs in scoring position. Try to double that lead. 2-0, it's definitely manageable, but 4-0, it's definitely a lot tougher for a team to come back from that hole in the seventh inning.
Nobody out, a 1-1 count, runners at second and third. The infield will play in. And looking to swing away, watching a breaking ball go by on the outside corner for strike two. Amos Bowers looking to try and come up with a big hit. Bowers, we mentioned, not a lot of at-bats this season, does not have an RBI. This would be a great time to get the first. Swings, that ball over the mound, into center field. That'll easily score two. Coming around to score from second is Black, and Amos Bowers with a clutch single up the middle to drive in two and really extend this one out for Roseburg.
What a massive hit. I mean, he has not had a ton of at-bats all season. We mentioned it, just 19 plate appearances, 17 at-bats entering today. Starts his day by reaching on an air, striking out, and he turns his day around with a 2 RBI single to double the lead for Roseburg.
That ball goes over the mound. It was one of those somewhat Baltimore chops that just too high for the pitcher to get to, but the second baseman, Carter Jordan, really needed to try and keep that on the infield. As soon as it got to the outfield, you knew Roseburg was scoring twice. Up to bat, the 9-hitter Caden Austin takes the first pitch outside corner for a strike. Austin 0 for 2 in the game, looking for his first hit. Roseburg now with 4 hits in the ballgame. Pickoff throw to first. Back in goes Bowers. First round of the state playoffs. Winner moves on, loser done for the year. It is all or nothing in the postseason. Pitch outside and read it well. Bowers muscling his way to second, gets in, and now a runner in scoring position for the Indians. Put that down as a wild pitch, but he read it perfectly. Saw that ball angling to the dirt, and Bowers immediately taking off for second.
Well, I think as a catcher, you kind of understand the bounce a little bit, especially here at home where he's caught a ton throughout the season. So he understands the champion Car Wash Field turf.
4-0 lead for Roseburg here in the bottom of the sixth. On the mound, McCormick, the right-hander working out of the stretch. Long stare to second base. Now delivers home, and they called foul as the pitch, or no, they called time as the pitch was being delivered. It is fouled off by Austin, but it's not going to be a pitch. No pitch on that one. Time was called as he was getting into his motion, and I think everybody's wondering, was it a legal pitch or not? The umpire got up and started to walk away from his crouch. It seems as if Coach Thompson's good to move forward. Everybody was wanting to make sure they knew the count. It stays at 1-1. Nobody out at second base, Amos Bowers. A bunt, put it down first base side, fielded by McCormick, and now he just spikes it into the turf. After throwing one away earlier, he sat there and thought about that one way too much, and it came out of his hands, stuck to his fingers, and spikes into the turf. That'll be another error.
I don't think I've ever seen that. Like, that was the yips in real motion.
I don't know if I've told you the story, but my junior year of baseball, no, I think it was it probably was my junior year. It was in my head so much I couldn't remember how to throw. You think about every single portion of a motion to throw the baseball, and you break it down all in your head that none of it makes sense anymore.
It's like me golfing.
And I couldn't. It took a while for me to get back on track to being able to do it regularly, and it really was just literally stop thinking about it. You've done this your entire life. Yeah. Just throw the ball. As a pitch low, ball one to the leadoff man, Paxton Burke, batting left-handed, the switch hitter. He will face Cam McCormick for a second time. The first time up, reached on a throwing error by the third baseman, Grant Finsler. McCormick does throw a strike to first, tag late, though, as Austin gets back in safely. That is the curiosity for me now. After a play that absolutely went as bad as you could make it, can McCormick find his groove again here? The 1-0. Breaking ball high, throw down to second base, will go all the way through. That might have been intended to get cut short by Jordan, but it one hops to the shortstop, Riley, and in safely goes Austin with the stolen base, and holding at third was Bowers. And once again, the infield will play in, looking to cut the runner off at home. 2-0 pitch to Burke, inside. Big moment here. Roseburg really looking to try and stretch this one out. Still nobody out. Already their fifth hitter to the plate here in this inning. And there's ball four. It feels like this is a moment. Obviously Roseburg leading 4-0. They're feeling good, but bases loaded. This is a moment here for McCormick, and he is not going to get an opportunity to see it through. Here comes Coach Leach out to make the pitching change. They are going to go to the bullpen once again. Cam McCormick was solid for 2 innings.
Yeah.
Didn't allow a hit, no runs. Racked up a few strikeouts, 3 of them to be exact. But here in the 8th inning, things have started to get away, and a couple of throwing errors by him on bunts have let outs escape them. And he is going to head to the dugout. He'll be responsible for the 3 runners left on base, and a new man will be on to try and see if they can get their way out of this one in the 6th inning. Roseburg in front 4-0 with 2 runs in here in the 6th, threatening for more. We'll step away for a quick timeout here on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
This is Roseburg. This is not your average career path, or yet another 9-to-5 desk job. And this is certainly not last century's mill job. This is the future. A modern manufacturing facility producing the most renewable building products on the planet and using technology to do so. At Roseburg, you will work among humans and robots in beautiful Oregon, the timber capital of the U.S. We're growing the trees and manufacturing the materials that will keep our homes and offices standing for decades into the future. We're looking for new team members, people who want to be our future managers, supervisors, and leaders. Visit roseburg.com/careers to start growing your career today.
Four to nothing the score. Special thanks to our sponsor, Bowers Industrial, a proud supporter of our local community and youth sports, as well as Quality Fence, doing it right for you. Call 541-664-2281 or visit qualityfenceco.com. Now about Bowers Industrial, son. Amos Bowers coming through with a big 2 RBI hit in the inning, and that exits Cam McCormick a couple of batters later.
Yeah, Cam McCormick will finish out the day. His tally, his line not done, so we'll hold off on that one. He is responsible for the 3 runners on base. Ryan Fry, who was the first baseman to start out the game when Alex Pearson was on the mound. Fry will come back into the game, and he will take over on the bump as Pearson is at first base. He took over there after coming off the mound in the 4th inning. Not an easy spot here for Fry. He's inheriting bases loaded with nobody out. The infield will play in, looking to cut the runner off at home. Roseburg with good speed on the bases. Bowers at third, Austin at second, Burke at first. Dane St. Clair batting. Takes the first pitch from the new pitcher on the outside corner for strike 1. Roseburg trying to get into the second round of the state playoffs for the first time in a couple of seasons. Ground ball towards short. They've got a force out at home. They will get it. Hanging on to the baseball at the plate, Dominic Taylor. A low throw, but he's able to scoop it up. Fielder's choice for St. Clair. And out at home was Bowers. 1 away, bases still loaded.
Really smart play by Connor Riley right there, just to field it and throw it home. It's the right decision in that situation, and that's why you play in the infield.
With 1 out, they still play with everybody in. Kind of surprised they don't play with the middle infielders back a little bit. As Cal Robbins will lace one towards second, they throw to the plate, get one there, throw to first base high, but able to hold on to the baseball is Pearson. That keeps it from getting into the outfield and allowing a run to come in to score. And back-to-back, Roseburg with a couple of infield grounders that Tigard is able to handle and make the out at home and keep the run off the board. This time the second baseman makes that play.
And that one, if you're a Tigard fan, you're holding your breath a little bit after seeing
that
the ball.
If it gets by.
Yeah.
Pitch outside. Sorry to interrupt you there.
No, but if it gets by him, that's at least 2 runs, maybe even 3, with the way that this outfield is shaped, especially in foul territory.
Could have been bad. Jake Johnson, he's been quiet at the plate, been dominant on the mound, looking to try and bust out here. He's got a 1-0 pitch. He'll ground one towards short. Should be playable for Riley. He'll flip to second base. Jordan there to make the put out against Cal Robbins. And so nice job by Ryan Fry to come in, and he gets 3 straight ground balls to get Tigard out of things here in the 6th. Only 2 runs come in on 2 hits. There were 2 errors, and you end up with 3 runners, or actually I think 2 runners. Yep.
2 runners.
2 runners left on base. So 2-2-2. Deuces wild in the 6th inning. Roseburg stretches the lead out. 4-0 is our score. We go to the top of the 7th. Jake Johnson needing 3 outs for the complete game shutout in the first round of the state playoffs. Back after this 60-second timeout here on 541radio.com and on the score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Communications radio stations have joined forces with the News Review and Lotus Web Services, announcing the Lotus Media Group, a multimedia enterprise. Web, broadcast, print. Make it happen with Lotus Media Group, LLC.com.
How should I be investing my money?
Plan for your future with confidence. At Palm Wealth Management, we'll help you see a clear path to financial peace of mind. Call Palm Wealth Management today.
In today's big box store, how-to YouTube video world, it is hard to do it yourself. If you're fixing your fence or putting in a new one, the only place to start is Quality Fence. We stock almost anything you need and take the time to show you how to really do it yourself. Visit the Quality Fence showroom in Roseburg and get great fencing ideas at qualityfenceco.com.
Quality Fences, doing it right for you.
Roseburg Baseball here on The Score, brought to you by Roseburg Country Club. You can check them out for memberships if you're getting that itch to get out on the golf course. I highly suggest you do. We want to say thank you to our playoff sponsors, Roseburg Forest Products, Winston Auto Care, Gibbs RV Superstore, and Southern Septic Service, helping with our expanded postseason coverage. Jake Johnson on the mound looking to complete this one here. Needs 3 outs in the first pitch, swinging a ball lofted towards third base. I'm not going to even make it to the outfield. Landon Duchesne will fly out to third baseman Cal Robbins' first pitch of the 7th inning, and Roseburg needs 2 more to wrap up the first-round victory. And Jake Johnson needs just 2 more to try and see if he can get through this one under the 85-pitch limit.
That's a great way to start if you're going to try to get there.
Very much. First pitch to Miles Ott, in for a strike. Ott is 1 for 2, a strikeout looking, and then followed that up with a single in the 5th inning. Jake out of the windup. The righty works a breaking ball on the inside corner for a called strike 2.
Is there like a high school equivalent of the Maddox? Because the 7 innings?
I don't know what you mean by the Maddox.
Ooh.
The 0-2 pitch. Ground ball up the middle, couple of hops. Burke behind second, quick throw to first. Rifles it across for the putout. 6-3, 2 down, and Roseburg 1 out away from a first-round victory.
So the Maddox, we were talking about baseball terms. The Maddox is, I believe, a complete game in under 90 pitches.
Oh, that would be pretty cool. I've never heard that, so I don't know if that is a thing in high school. But Jake is looking to try and do it. He's trying to make it. We'll call it the Johnson. First pitch goes off the glove for Bowers. Ball 1 against the 7-hitter Connor Bach. Out to the mound, Amos Bowers to have a quick conversation with Jake. You can stay connected to your favorite team with the OSAA Live mobile app. OSAA Live features the latest scores, schedules, and rankings for all teams and leagues across Oregon. Access OSAA state championship programs, read the latest prep news and information. Search OSAA Live in the App Store or on Google Play to download today. The 1-0. Slapped foul back towards the concession stands, which were open. So if you're thinking about maybe coming to a game, if Roseburg does make it to the second round and host on Wednesday, which it's looking likely, you can stop by the concession stand and get something to eat while you're here. Inside with the breaking ball, 2-1 count.
So to clarify, it's a complete game shutout in 100 or fewer pitches.
That is an accomplishment.
Yeah.
I'm guessing Greg Maddox did it a lot.
Yeah.
2-1 pitch. Check swing. Fooled him on that one. That'll go around Connor Bach at 2-2 count, and Jake Johnson needs one more. 2 balls, 2 strikes. A 4-0 lead for Roseburg, top of the 7th. Connor Bach at the plate. The wind and fire. Breaking ball lifted high in the air towards left field. It is going to get out of play. And Roseburg does have somebody throwing in the bullpen, and that will tell you everything you need to know. If Jake gets close to the limit, they will make a move to try and keep him under that 85 pitch count limit. The 2-2. Swing and a miss, and there it is. Roseburg will get the victory and move on in the 6A state playoffs. A complete game shutout for Jake Johnson as Roseburg wins it 4-0.
What a way to end the day for Jake. Just pumping his 6th strikeout. Just blows it right past Connor Bach. Incredible stuff from the right-hander. And, I'll say it, whatever it was, I was under 85. It's the Jake Johnson today.
Jake Johnson pitches Roseburg into the second round of the state playoffs with a little bit of help from Danner Wirtz and Amos Bowers, who helped drive in some runs in this one. 2 in the third, 2 in the sixth. Roseburg puts up 4 on the board, and they are moving on as they eliminate the Tigard Tigers in the first round of the state playoffs. Market 3 Southwest Conference teams now on to the second round of the state playoffs. We've got plenty to cover as we head to the post-game show, so don't go anywhere, folks. We've got more coming up for you. We'll take a timeout, and we come back. We will recap this one and get you all the numbers as Roseburg, a winner, 4-0 on top of Tigard in the first round of the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 6A State Championship playoffs. Back in a moment here on 541radio.com and on the score.
Turn your home into your dream sanctuary with help from Douglas County Farmers Co-op. For over 100 years, we've carried everything you need to keep your garden and crops green and growing, including a large selection of soil mixes, composts, fertilizers, and other soil amendments. You'll also find stones, boulders, gravel, and more to add structure and diversity to your yard. Stop by or shop at DouglasCountyFarmersCoop.com.
Successful companies have a very important secret. Good advertising works and makes them money. That's why your business should contact Lotus Media Group. Let us help you cash in with multimedia advertising. Multiple touches from Douglas County's only Google certified partner and most effective advertising platform. Web, broadcast, print. Make it happen. LotusMediaGroupLLC.com.
Hey there, sports fans. Thanks for watching this local sporting event online at 541radio.com. Did you know there's more than one way to watch games online? You can watch games on your laptop or desktop computer, your tablet, or even your smartphone just by going to 541radio.com. But we also use YouTube to stream all of our video broadcasts, which means you can be watching this game on your big screen TV with a number of different streaming devices. You can stream our live YouTube broadcast through your PlayStation or Xbox gaming device, or through streaming devices like Google Chromecast, Apple TV, or Roku. There's plenty of ways to follow this live local sporting event. Plus, you can find past events archived on 1490 The Score's YouTube channel. Find us on YouTube and subscribe today to keep up with the latest in local sports coverage.
My wife and I moved to Oregon to raise a family, set our roots, and to have a lot of fun outdoors. We quickly realized that we needed a truck or a rig for the projects that we were doing in our backyard. When we were looking to find a place to finance our truck, we asked our patients, and everyone recommended Cascade Community Credit Union. It was so easy to work with Cascade. Everything was done via email, phone, and we didn't even need to go in. I can't wait to finish up the projects in the backyard, go on more adventures in our truck with our boys, and I look forward to working with Cascade again in the future.
At Douglas County Farmers Co-op, we want your four-legged friends to be healthy and happy. That's why we stock a carefully curated selection of pet, equine, and livestock supplies. From the premium foods your pets crave to grooming and show supplies that help you shine in the show ring, you'll find it at Douglas County Farmers Co-op. Our knowledgeable staff are here to help with those tough pet and livestock care questions. Stop by or shop at DouglasCountyFarmersCoop.com.
We welcome you back here to Champion Car Wash Field in beautiful Roseburg, Oregon, where today the Roseburg Indians, they sweep it. A couple of playoff victories tonight as the Roseburg Indians get a 4-0 win in softball and a 4-0 win in baseball.
Oh.
And both teams will be moving on to the second round of the state playoffs coming up on Wednesday. Stay tuned here to the Score for the schedule and our broadcast schedule. We'll figure out what's in store and where we're going to be as we get that all dialed in now that we know the teams are moving on to the next round. We'll start to get schedules as the brackets continue to get updated with the results of other games going on at the 6A level. Roseburg, a 4-0 win. Looking at your line score, no runs, 4 hits, 4 errors, and 4 men left on base for Tigard. For Roseburg, 4 runs on 4 hits, no errors, and 8 men left on base. Jake Johnson will get the win. He goes to 9-1 on the season. Alex Pearson takes the loss for the Tigers. Roseburg scores 2 in the 3rd inning to grab the lead. It was a 2-run single by Danner Wirtz. That came with 1 out at the time. And Danner Wirtz would put him on the board with that single in the 3rd. And then in the 6th inning, it was Amos Bowers with a 2-run single up the middle with the bases loaded and nobody out that would add 2 more on the board for the Tribe. And they would get the 2 runs there in both the 3rd and the 6th. And that's all they needed, as Jake Johnson would pitch the complete game to get the victory, and another stellar one for him. Jake Johnson goes 7 innings, allows no runs on 4 hits, 1 walk, and 6 strikeouts as he picks up his 9th win of the season. Pearson in the start goes 3 innings, allows 2 runs on 2 hits, 5 walks, 4 strikeouts, and 1 hit batter. I think when you look at it, Knight, it's going to come down to 8 errors and 6 walks and 1 hit batter. Those, not 8 errors, sorry, 4 errors. I was looking at the left on base category there. 4 errors and...
4 errors? I had 3.
Yeah, I think we credit, well, at least I think I credited an error on a ball that, it was that one that was hit to the 3rd baseman where the pitcher took him out as he threw to first and it pulled the first baseman off. I ruled it an error. I don't know, maybe a base hit.
Yeah, I would probably side with you on that one, error.
So
yeah, 4 errors.
Either way, it was misplays in the field by Tigard and the free passes that they were giving up in this one that Roseburg was able to take advantage of. They didn't necessarily hit the ball overly well, just 4 hits in the game, but they came up with the hits when they needed to take advantage of the opportunities they got with those free passes and the miscues out there defensively by Tigard.
They certainly did, and, they came through when they needed to, and Jake Johnson, if you're going to put up zeros on the board, you're going to put your team in position to win, and that's exactly what he did, and he also did so under 85 pitches, which is huge because the Indians, they have pretty high aspirations for this year. They think that they kind of been snubbed a little bit. Number 8, entering that final week, they were number 4 in the power rankings, dropped to the 8th seed, and now potentially have a rematch with South Salem, which I'm sure this squad would love, and they'd love Jake Johnson to be pitching on Friday. If they get there, they'd have to win on Wednesday, but not looking too far ahead. Certainly would love Jake on Friday, and they're going to get him.
On the other side of the bracket, it's Forest Grove and Grant that are meeting up on that side. And Dale back in the studio. Dale, if you could let me know just in our ear whether or not we've got any other commercial breaks to get in here. But as we continue on to the post-game show, we will see if I can't remember if we've got one more break to try and get in. We do. The Roseburg Indians get the win 4-0. We're going to check the scoreboard. We've got some stats tallied up here. We're going to take one more break, and when we come back, we will take a look at some stats, see if we've got any more scores that we can pass along to you in the 6A brackets, and maybe see if we can tell you who Roseburg might be facing in the next round. We'll take a look at all of that as we wrap things up here. We continue on with the postgame show. 4-0. Roseburg wins over Tigard on 541radio.com and on the score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Always handled my own finances, but I need help.
Get a better understanding of your finances. At Palm Wealth Management, we care about your priorities and help restore financial security. Call Palm Wealth Management today.
How should I be investing my money?
Plan for your future with confidence. At Palm Wealth Management, we'll help you see a clear path to financial peace of mind. Call Palm Wealth Management today.
Quality Fences, doing it right for you. Just ask your neighbor. Quality Fences, doing it right for you.
How long was this break, Dale? Roseburg a winner here at home, and they will be back here at home coming up next round on Wednesday. Not a lot of downtime. You get right into it. They'll face the winner of Grant and Forest Grove. Grant, the 9 seed. Roseburg is the 8 seed, and Forest Grove, the 24 seed. So no matter which team wins out of that one, Roseburg would be the lower seed, and they would get a chance to host in the next round. So we'll pencil them in there. We'll figure out what the who the opponent is and what the game time will be, I'm sure, here very soon as the evening wears on. But a big win today for the Roseburg Indians. Baseball and softball both getting victories and moving on. Taking a look at some of the numbers, we gave you pitching numbers there from this one. How about some offensive numbers? 4 hits in the game for Tigard. Ollie Jones goes 1 for 3. Alex Pearson had a double, just a bullet to dead center field. He ends up, though, 1 for 3. Didn't have a base hit after that, but he did have that double. Let's see here. Connor Riley goes 1 for 3 with a single and then 2 ground outs to second. 1 for 3 for Miles Ott. Had a base hit to left field. Also struck out and grounded out on the day. And that is all of your hits in the game. Dominic Taylor goes 0 for 1, had a walk, as the only walk issued by Jake Johnson. For the Roseburg Indians, Paxton Burke got on with a walk twice in this game, but he goes 0 for 2. He did reach base 3 times, reaching once on an error. Dane St. Clair goes 0 for 2, reached on a walk and a hit by pitch, did score a run. Cal Robbins goes 1 for 4 in the game with a ground rule double over the right field fence, scored a run in the game, goes 1 for 4. Jake Johnson was 0 for 3, but he pitched well enough to make up for an 0 for day at the plate. Luke Robbins goes 0 for 2 with a walk, was left stranded at third. Danner Wirtz goes 2 for 2 in the game, a walk and 2 singles. He had 2 RBI, scored a run in there as well. A.J. Black was 0 for 2 in the game with a run scored. He did have a walk. Amos Bowers goes 1 for 3 with 2 RBI on a single in the 6th. And Caden Austin reached on an error, and that was his one-time on base, going 0 for 3. Well, Roseburg moves on, and that's all you can ask for here in this situation. And so now we play the waiting game to find out what's in store for us coming up on Wednesday. Any final thoughts here as we wrap this one up, Knight?
Just a huge win for Roseburg and a big pitching performance for Jake Johnson. Again, keeping it below that 85-pitch threshold and pitching a complete game today against a very quality Tigard opponent that has had some big wins this season, including one against number 2 West Salem. That's a big confidence booster for this Roseburg squad, and I think that they can win against anybody on any given day if you have Jake Johnson out there putting up zeros on the board.
Absolutely. Good win here for Roseburg. They improved to 18-8 on the season. Tigard will finish out the year 12-15 overall, as they will drop in the first round of the state playoffs here once again. Roseburg will face either Grant or Forest Grove on Wednesday. Time to be determined. And so we'll look forward to having that for you. So far, we know of 3 Southwest Conference teams that have moved on. Sheldon gets a 3-2 win over Barlow, and South Medford a 3-2 win on the road at Wells. And Roseburg getting the 4-0 win here. You've got North Medford at Sandy, Grants Pass hosting Lake Ridge, and Willamette at Tualatin, the other matchups here today. That's going to do it for us here, folks. Want to say thanks to everybody for helping make this one possible. First to the visiting Tigers. It was really fun to catch up with Boog Leach, the head coach of the Tigers, former Roseburg Indian, class of 2012. Good club that he put together there. Just unfortunately ran up against Roseburg on a good day here today, but a lot of fun to catch up with him and get to see him having success in his professional life after getting to call his games back in the day. A lot of fun to run into him there. Want to say thanks to Adam Blue, the athletic director for the Roseburg Indians, head coach Troy Thompson, and the entire Roseburg baseball program for allowing us to bring you another season of Roseburg baseball here on The Score. Want to say thanks to Dale Cranford back in the studio for the radio production here today, and thanks to Knight Jarecki for joining me in the booth. Actually, thanks to Knight Jarecki for letting me join him in the booth here today. It's been a lot of fun. Do we wear orange again on Wednesday?
We might have to. I think we might
have to. Everybody's made a comment about it, and so far it's...
But I'm also a superstitious person.
It's netted us a couple of wins.
Yeah.
So. Are you going to wash it? That's the question.
That's a really good question.
How superstitious are you? Do you just wear the same outfit, or do you just not even wash it? That is the question. We will determine those things here as we get going. But Knight, it's been fun to share the broadcast booth with you on a couple of calls today. Look forward to doing it again here sometime soon. We'll see. I believe Wednesday possibility, but we'll see how the schedule works out for us all here coming up. And as always, a thanks to you, the fan, for tuning in for today's broadcast, because, of course, without you, I'm just a guy sitting here talking to myself. I'm Joey Keeran. This has been Roseburg Baseball in the postseason. We want to say thanks to our playoff sponsors, Roseburg Forest Products, Winston Auto Care, Gibbs RV Superstore, and Southern Septic Service, for helping make this possible here in the postseason. And if you're watching this game online or listening on the radio, we'll be back here doing it again on Wednesday. So make sure you tune in when we got that game coming up. And we'll let you know about all the details online at 541radio.com and here on The Score. So thanks, everybody, for tuning in and joining us. We'll talk to you Wednesday when Roseburg's into the second round of the 6A state playoffs on 541radio.com and on The Score, 92.3 FM and 14.